du hast sie schon gesehen.
Begrüßt. War es für dich früh aufstehen heute?
Nee, ich hatte noch eine Bekannte.
Entschuldigung, Nina, Präsenter. Ich komme runter.
Sag Bescheid, wenn du da irgendwas siehst. Ja, genau. Ja, genau. Genau.
Unser ganzes Team ist da.
Echt? Ewig? Manchmal lange nicht so.
Musst du mit ihm besprechen, weil Slide hat er noch nicht. Dann gehen wir jetzt ins Ding, weil die Pause Slide können wir nur noch in 20 Minuten. Aber Nina braucht jetzt die Präsentation. Nee, ich mach das. Das macht ihr nicht selber. Keine Sorge. Wie heißt die Präsentation? Nina Rube.
Ja, ich war gerade in der Kryokammer, das war kalt. Oh, danke. Ich hatte die Pizza als Eiswolle. Ist das so? Weil ich war gerade in der Kryokammer.
So, kannst du einmal kurz auf diesen Stream schauen, dass ich weiß, dass das der richtige Link ist, bevor ich den jetzt überall teile? Mach mal Ton laut und schau mal kurz, ob du was hörst. Das, was ich jetzt gerade gesagt habe, es dauert ungefähr 30 Sekunden, bis du das hörst. Bis du meine Stimme hörst aus deinem Handy über den Livestream bei YouTube, über genau diesen Link. Hast du den Ton an? Wenn du den Ton an hast, dann solltest du mich auch hören. Aber ich höre mich irgendwie. Ja, jetzt. Ja, funktioniert. Funktioniert.
So. Ne, hat sich erklärt. Hat sich erledigt. Hat sich erledigt. Hat sich erledigt. Jo, danke, ciao. Machen wir die Präsentation schon von dir. PDF-Präsentation. Jetzt auch noch nicht. Gut. Kann man eigentlich schon machen, oder? Ja, du wirst es für Sie. Ja. Also nicht vor mir, aber komm direkt danach. Hat sie den Präsenter? Ja, hier. Ah.
Alles okay?
Hi. Ja.
Ja? Wordly und Vorschau-Monitor?
Vorschau-Monitor wurde von der FIBO so nicht bestellt, sollte ich so weitergeben, habe ich jetzt mal extra nachgefragt.
Okay, die brauchen wir auf jeden Fall heute im Laufe des Tages dran. Ja?
Und das ist eingeschaltet, das Handmikro?
Das Handmikro muss man einfach den Hebel nach oben machen.
Also das ist noch nicht
Das
eingeschaltet.
ist noch nicht eingeschaltet.
Okay.
Genau. Ist nur die eine
Ja, das ist die lange PowerPoint. Und wollen wir mal kurz probieren, ob sie geht? Mit dem.
können wir machen. Ich habe den hier.
Ja? Ah, das ist ja hier.
Einmal voll. So.
Prima. Okay.
Funktioniert.
Und hast du jetzt tatsächlich die 15 Minuten, beziehungsweise meine 45 Minuten, hast du das auf dem Timer drauf?
Kann ich mit drauf machen? Ja.
Hast du den Plan?
Den Plan habe ich hier.
Das wäre gut, ne? Bei mir 45 Minuten und dann immer 15.
Dann immer 15 weiter. Jo.
Hier steht die Uhr.
Dann steht hinter dem Knopf da. Aber nicht von mir.
Okay.
Nee.
Hey.
Jetzt brauche ich das.
Ich mache selber. Selber.
Danke. Du musst nur hinterher nochmal kontrollieren, ob ich dich von der Entfernung zoome. Chris, oh. Könntest du den Mädels sagen, dass sie alle Speaker informieren, dass sie diesen Timer haben?
Ja.
Müssen sie sagen, weil ich vergesse es.
Ja. Also, ja, wie gesagt, gestern war es so, dass der Speaker immer genau die Zeit wurde ablaufen lassen, die ich habe.
Okay, er hat es jetzt eben gerade gesagt, oh ja, ja stimmt, mache ich.
Ich gehe auch gleich, wenn alles läuft,
Der
nochmal.
Timer war gestern eingesetzt.
Ja, gut. Perfekt. Gut. Super. Also, Timer war gestern schon. Du hast jetzt noch kein Mikrofon.
Ich warte noch. Er wollte gerade
Ah, okay.
das zweite noch aktivieren.
Gut. Fein.
Kannst du mal schauen, ob es gut sitzt?
Ja, sollte passen.
Bist du zufrieden? Okay. Hallo? Freut mich sehr. Hallo. Oh ja. Freue mich. Toll, dass du da bist.
So, es war ein bisschen ein Aufwand, aber
Also guck mal.
in letzter Sekunde habe ich es ja erst. Ich hatte das nicht mehr eingetragen und deswegen habe ich das dann erst vor 2 Tagen erfahren.
Schatzi, das ist aber nicht unser Thema, ne? Wir haben dich frühzeitig eingeladen.
Ja, aber ich
Du
hatte
warst
es nicht
unsere
schriftlich.
erste Wahl.
Ich weiß, und wir hatten es aber nicht schriftlich.
Oh,
Und
okay, das müssen wir mal klären.
Nee, alles gut.
Jetzt,
Einen super Job.
der macht einen super Job, absolut. Jetzt müssen wir mal schauen, wo ist die Frau? Wollen wir anfangen?
Hallo. Wie sieht's aus mit so einem? Bist du hier in dem Kurs? Passcode haben wir hier. Bei Herz. Wieso bei Herz?
So, okay, fangen wir an? Ich sage 2 Sätze und dann hole ich euch. Ist mein Mikro eingeschaltet? Noch nicht. Okay, gut, fangen wir an. Very welcome. I'm very glad to have you all here. I'm very happy. Thank you for coming, for being interested in this topic, longevity, healthy longevity. And I'm so glad that FIBO is with us, that FIBO opens the possibility to present this topic here on FIBO. And so the product manager, Anke Brent, I'm so happy. Please come join us for a short time here for a second. And my partner, Chris Cruz, StaYoung Media. He is the boss of the whole organization here. So I would like to, please, I would like to know, what was your motivation to install this very new topic as a really 3 hours point at FIBO?
Yes, good morning together. I'm very happy that you are here to this topic, longevity. Yes, it's an easy answer because FIBO, the umbrella topic of FIBO is health. And longevity is a trend topic. And it fits perfect to FIBO because we have all the solutions like the sleep, nutrition, and all the things you need to be very fit for the future, and also if you are older and you want to be only fit and yes, you have a perfect life.
And you have the idea to, for the next year perhaps, to let it a little bit grow.
Yes, the plan is to grow it because longevity is a long-term topic. It's not a 1-year thing. And it's important that we, yes, expand it for the next years. And I think this is the right way
great.
and an important step for the whole industry.
And to Chris, the question to organize everything here. So what was your strategy?
Well, my strategy was to bring unique specialists to this fair, to this trade show, because we knew we were going to be in a different kind of environment, a little bit like fish out of the water, because we go to, you know, these science conferences with very dry presentations, but we said we wanted to bring tangible longevity, healthy longevity to you, to the audience, and You already can see some technology over here. We'll have more over here. So in the middle of our program, you have 15 minutes. And this was my goal, to make longevity actually a tangible experience, something you can do, something you can experience, and something that motivates you for the future.
Thank you very much. We start. Thank you. So I have 45 minutes. I'm very curious whether you are with me for 45 minutes, but you can leave if you are bored. So since 10, 15 years, this science is now bringing to us a lot of insights, a lot of findings. What is happening in our tissues, in our cells, in our organs when we age? And we have now so many developments, what we can do against aging, what we can do to give us a longer, healthy life, that now we have a mega trend, but since 2 or 3 years, because here in Europe we are a little bit late. In US it's pretty much longer. But there is also a risk. There are so many profiteers who would like to make fast, quick money selling snake oil, not effective, dubious. And so I see myself a little bit as a bullshit filter, so to tell and inform a general public what is really scientifically based and what is not, and what is most likely helpful and what is not. So I'm really, really happy to give here a little bit of guidance, and I will give a little bit an overview what healthy longevity today can deliver to you. First, advertising. I felt in love 6 years ago or 7 years ago in that topic. I wrote 4 popular science books. All became bestsellers. You see, people are really interested in that topic. And now I'm working on the 5th, StaYoung, Future Therapies, What Will Come, and StaYoung, what is now possible in practice. End of advertising. Young people dream of being rich. Old people dream of being young. This is what we find often in press and in the public opinion. This is a little bit devaluating the whole longevity movement, because I hear so often, oh, that's only unaffordable, that's only something for the rich. And you know, we need the rich because we have to invest into development, into research. And so we need the rich. But we would like to show you today that healthy longevity is already something for everybody today. And you have to know a little bit more how your cells are working. But first of all, the rich, the investors. I would like to give you a small overview what now is happening in the recent times for some examples of investments. You see, the biggest investment of $3 billion, Jeff Bezos and other investors invested in Altos Labs. They brought together the best scientists in the world to check what can be the therapies for tomorrow, to rejuvenate. We have here timeline. This is not very, very impressive, this pointer. Timeline, 66 million investment. This is from L'Oreal and from Nestle. They would like to develop drugs for everybody. Now they are working on urolithin A. You have heard about that, I'm sure. Then here, Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI, invested 180 million into Retro Biosciences. They have 3 different research teams to look what can we do to give people 10 more healthy years in their life. And we have Arena Bioworks, 500 millions, also impressive. They are developing drugs, they are genetic engineering, etc. What is now happening in the markets? You see, longevity is the red line, overtook biotech and fintech in investments. That's really impressive. Now it's going a little bit down because we need a unicorn. We need first big success, and that is now not on the market. When the first unicorn will appear, then we will have a lot of more investments, but we have it in a quite nice way. So what we can assume is this, and that's the reason I show you that. The longevity industry will be the largest industry in human history in the next 20 years. Yeah, everybody will pay lots of money if we have really scientifically based drugs or therapies to live longer, healthy. This is a very, very important research and development, which already is on the market. The epigenetic clock, 12 years ago, Stephen Horvath, he says when we can measure age, when we can measure rejuvenation, then we can measure if a product is working or not. And this is the epigenetic clock. Till today, it's not really, at the end, finally developed, but it's a little bit a hint what we can measure as we age. Perhaps you are interested how it works, and some of you know what it is. The epigenetic clock will read out from your DNA the patterns of stop signs. These stop signs are shifting with aging. So when you are 40 years old, you have a special pattern on your DNA of these stop signs. Why are they so important? Because we have this DNA is detecting or producing, saying to our cell organism which proteins are produced and which are not produced. And if, for example, some enzymes for tumor suppressing are produced or not. And when these stop signs are shifting, then you have another protein pattern as well, and that's typical for aging. So let us see here the biological age and the chronological age. When you have in here the 40-year-old very agile guy who's walking, he's not too fat, he's in his passport, you can read, he's 40 years old. And you have down there another man who is also 40 years old, but his lifestyle is a little bit different. He's fat, he's not moving. So the biological age, what is determined by or read out by the epigenetic clock says, oh, biological-wise, he is 5 years older. What means he has also a lower life expectancy. That's the important topic. So you can buy these epigenetic clocks in internet easily, and you have to know there are several manufacturers, and I did these epigenetic tests by myself. 6 years ago showed the same, 6 years younger, and now I did another one, another manufacturer, and it said 11 years younger. And I was not so sure whether this is really true, or I changed my lifestyle in such a good way that I'm really younger. So it's a hint, it's a clue, but it's not really 100% reading out your your biological age, but you can use it. So let's go into the cells. The hallmarks of aging, I'm sure you heard about that. I don't want to explain it in every topic, but it makes you depressive. When you see what from the 25th year on, I have to go here because I guess here's the loudspeaker, yeah. From your 25th year on, there is the other one, this is happening in your cells. Telomeres are shortening, cell division disorders. Here, I guess it's lousier than here. DNA damage, stem cell exhaustion, loss of protein quality, inflammation, mitochondrial dysfunction, senescent cells, etc. This is happening slowly when you are getting older, and this is what science is now telling us. Though from the 25th year on, that's happening in your cells. Let's go a little bit deeper again. 3 cell competencies, I call it, I name it, are weakening when we are getting older. The first, the renewal. You know that in every second in your body, 50 million cells are dying, 50 millions, and 50 millions are produced. You don't feel anything. And this mitosis, you know what it is. This is a really complicated system in our cells and process. And when we are aging, this is also aging. So the stem cells are not so good in mitosis anymore. The DNA repair system is weakening, and also zombie cells are developing. I have not the time to explain that, but it's all depressing. The second cell competence, energy supply is decreasing. Our mitochondria. So we have billions and billions in our cells. They are dividing as well. They have an own rejuvenation system, but also this system is weakening. And so you see that 1% per year, the power of our mitochondria decreases. So when we are 60 years old, could be that they have 50% of energy less. Okay. The third cell competence is detoxification and recycling, called autophagy. The cell cleaning is not working so well anymore. The waste material accumulates in the cells, and what the recycling system is delivering, all these energy compounds and building materials, they are going down, they drop. So, what is happening during our lifetime when we are older than 25 years? The primary aging during the first 25 years. Our cell competences are fit. And then after 25, 30, it's not fixed. Then the decreasing of the cell competences starts, and the secondary aging is coming. And then when the cell competencies are really weakened, then the age-related diseases may appear. And you see here what it is: cancer, atherosclerosis, heart attack, stroke, dementia, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, diabetes, arthritis, osteoporosis, everything. Your cells are weakened. And what does it mean for us personally who are sitting here? Look at the right block here. You see when you are 70 to, is it possible? You don't see it. On the right side, 70 to 85 years old. 80% of all have more than 2 age-related diseases in the same time. 80% and more have more than 2. This is really what we have to know. And our medicine is now better and better. The costs are rising. And you see what that does it mean for us, for the future, for our society, for the costs of the health systems. You see the green line? The green line is going, we are here. The pointer is not so good. We are here. And what we are expecting is this explosion of costs. Here you see what the expenses, the balance of total income and expenses. This will be minus 50 billion in Germany only. And this is what we have now as a reserve. This is nothing. So this is not, it's not affordable anymore, what is coming. So the longevity science has a goal, and it is not the goal to get 120, 150 years. No. The goal is here, lifespan increased since 1960 from worldwide, from 54 to 73, worldwide. Our goal, and we had 50% in poor health at the end of our life. And now we have 73 years, but also 50% at the end of our life. So time of suffering in old age is increasing. We have wonderful medicine, but we have so many age-related diseases, chronic diseases, that this is the same but longer proportional. This is our goal. Eric Worden, the CEO of the Buck Institute for Research of Aging, which is very well known and really one of the best, he says, let us add 15 to 17 more healthy years to our life. So this is 2030. Perhaps we will reach that. We would like to have 50% we had suffering at the end of our life, and now we will hopefully have only 22%, so that our health span is longer. That's the goal, not to reach 120 years. What can we do? And what do we see here at FIBO? You can change your lifestyle, and we know a lot what lifestyle factors can help to raise your health span. Nutrition, sleep, breathing, heat, cold, exercise, mental resilience. You see a lot of interventions and techniques and devices here. Then dietary supplements, hormone replacement therapy, and then the future therapies, what I'm now working on for my next book. This is coming, and this is a huge market altogether. We are now at the lifestyle level. Calorie restriction is lifestyle topic. That's scientifically proven that calorie restriction is prolonging life and health span. In several kinds of animals, you see here in yeast, the lifespan is tripled when they eat 30% less as they would like to. Ad libidum, you say, when they can eat so much as they want. When you are giving them 30% less, they triple their lifespan. This is really not only health span. Nematode, fruit fly, mouse, monkey species. There, monkeys and human, we have no evidence-based studies, but we have a lot of studies who can scientifically based tell you when you eat 14% less up to 30% less, you can increase your health span and your lifespan dramatically. This can do everybody. So that's not only something for the rich. And when you go down a little bit deeper in the cell metabolism, you see here that cell stress through calorie restriction is helping your gut, helping your cognition, and is really lowering the dementia, cancer, age-related diabetes, etc. It's only one example. And when we go deeper into the cells, you see that this calorie restriction is helping our DNA repair systems to repair the DNA daily, because we have daily 10,000 damages in our DNA, in every cell, 10,000, and we have a wonderful system to repair this. And this calorie restriction is helping our repair system to stay with a really with a healthy DNA. Your stem cell function will rise. Your immune system will be stronger. And your epigenetic rejuvenation process is also better. The oxidative stress is going down. Calorie restriction. Or diet, also lifestyle factor. A diet. What kind of diet should we have to have a longer, healthy life? And now we know a lot about. I cannot explain it in detail, but Professor Walter Longo, who is one of the most renowned professors in that topic, he said 80% plant-based. And this means really a change in your nutrition. 80% plant-based. Why? Because we have a lot of polyphenols in your vegetables and your fruits, etc. And these polyphenols act a little bit like free radicals. All free radicals, they are damaging DNA, they are damaging mitochondria, they are damaging a lot, but only when they are overwhelming you, when you have too many from them. So when you have a very low stress of free radicals, here you see it, free radicals pass into the cell nucleus, and they are rising protection systems. Protection, DNA repair, strengthening your immune system, and inflammation inhibition. And also, free radicals are eliminated. So this is what free radicals are doing, and this is what polyphenols are doing in the cells. So, but they are not destroying anything. They don't destroy the DNA, the mitochondria. They are really kind. So polyphenols from vegetables, 80% in your nutrition is very helpful for a healthy, long life. Dietary supplements, how many minutes do I have? 17? You are just sitting here, I'm happy. Dietary supplements and hormone replacement therapy. I'm not able in that time to talk about hormone replacement therapy for women in menopause, but I'm really convinced that it's helping. We have new active ingredients and new therapies. The low-hanging fruits, because you can now buy them, and they are on the market, and they are a big business. Geroprotectors is their name. Gero is age, so they protect you from aging. There are herbal food supplements, phytochemicals. There are classic dietary supplements like vitamins, minerals, etc. There are the body's own active ingredients like NAD+, coenzyme Q10, AKG, alpha-ketoglutarate, spermidine, etc. There are human hormones, not only the sexual hormones, and there are classic medications, like mostly they are anti-diabetics. So this is the second level of our longevity pyramid. Let's see a little bit more herbal food supplements. Around 8,000 different we know that they could be relevant for us humans. And if they are more than 30 years on the market, and if they are used since more than 30 years in Germany, they are, when they are effectively used, they are now accepted as traditional herbal medicinal product. But there are no evidence-based randomized studies because it's too expensive. These molecules, these compounds cannot be patented. So if you invest hundreds of millions to do the really huge studies, you cannot protect them, and everybody can use the insights and the results. So this will not be financed, but you can see if they are more than 30 years on the market, you can use them with a really empiric knowledge that they will help a little bit. The negatives, there are few clinical classical studies on humans available. Curcumin, but for example, there are 18,000 studies, 18,000, but not these really helpful and tough clinical studies. And the recently discovered phytochemicals cannot be approved as traditional herbal medicinal products because they are not more than 30 years on the market and not effectively proven. So resveratrol, pterostilbene, astaxanthin, berberine, physitin, quercetin, fucoidan, urolithin A, EGCG from the green tea, curcumin, they are not traditional medicine. They're not accepted formally, but they may really be helpful. The most important topic for all these herbal substances is the bioavailability, and so let's have only a quick look on that. The phytochemical hurdle, it's not only phytochemical, every drug, when it wants to get into your cells, has to pass these hurdles, and the polyphenols especially. So you see here, with vegetable or with dietary supplements, nutritional supplements, they come here, they go, in the stomach is happening something, in the intestinal tract is happening something. Then here, if they are happy to pass, they can enter into our blood system. And in the liver, they are really, it's a real huge chemical changing of all of these compounds. And then you can be happy if they reach your cells. What you can do now is to help these compounds to enter your body. Because curcumin, for example, coenzyme 10, 90% minimum is not arriving in your body. 90% is a very, very expensive pipi or caca, I say to my dog. So there are now some new possibilities to help these compounds to enter your body. There are micelles. They are how they are working is all the same. Inside, here you have the nutrient, you have outside the phospholipid molecule, and you have the water-soluble compounds in here. They are passing, they have no really big problems to pass. But here you have the fat-soluble parts of the herbal compounds. And the micelles are small, the liposomes are a little bit bigger, and there is a new, not stable technique which helps a huge amount of these compounds to enter your body. And when you are buying some nutritional supplements, so look if they are myceliate or liposomiert. This is really important to have really effective nutrients. Then only a quick look at the classic food supplements. You know, sure, you know vitamin D, you know omega-3, and there is also muscle training. Also this, I could give you a 30-minute speech. This is a trial, this is a study which is really interesting because it's not looking at vitamin D, osteoporosis, or these anti-inflammatory compounds. But what they did in Zurich, they said people who have enough vitamin D in their blood serum, it's enough. But we give on top 2,000 international units, and we give on top also omega-3, 1 gram per day, 2,000 international units of vitamin D, and a training program. This is a study which is huge, over 6 years, with, I guess, 2,200 participants. And then you see this, 61 fewer cases of cancer of all types was the result of this study. So also the well-known supplements can produce new insights. And let's have a quick look at of the body's own active ingredients with important control functions. There we have NAD, there we have alpha-ketoglutarate, coenzyme Q10, we have spermidine, taurine, and creatine. And there are a lot of new insights. Because all of these compounds we are really are decreasing with aging. At the age of 40, it's really increasing. And so we have to think about to fill up these compounds which are so important in our body. It's our body's own. So we have now also a new study about taurine, which was very, very interesting last year. It was discussed in all magazines. This is the study. Taurine we have in our body and also in the breast feed of mothers. It's not only in Red Bull and in the fitness centers. Taurine is a very, very important compound. So it's amino acid-like. It is produced in our body, and it's also decreasing with aging. So these studies, the Columbia University was the head of the study. You see what taurine is doing. I guess this is also interesting. All the functions are increasing when you have enough taurine in your body. And if taurine is decreasing, could be different. But they say, the leaders of the study say, okay, we have no controlled randomized studies about taurine in humans, so we cannot tell you that you have to take taurine. But it's on the market, and the maximum dose is 6,000 milligrams per day. They say, okay, when you take 1,000, that's really okay, you will not get sick. Okay. Let's have a quick look at the future therapies. There are so many. And in May, there will be the Rejuvenation Startup Summit in Berlin. There will come the CEOs of very, very interesting startups all over the world. And this is incredible what is now being researched in Bay Area, at the East Coast of US, a little bit also in Europe. So let's have an overview. This is only a topic of studies. We know that the SGLT2 inhibitors, the metformin and the acarbose, they are diabetes drugs, that they have an impact on the aging process. We need these studies to really be sure that we can be secure when we take these. Rapamycin will also be something which could be interesting, but this is in between low-hanging fruits and the second level of our pyramid. But now we have the future therapies. I have only one example for you. Here you see a terrible study which they did 30, 40 years ago, parabiosis. They sued 2 rats and connected their blood systems. And then the young mouse, here is the rat old, here is the rat young, and the blood systems were connected. The old rat got younger, and the young rat got older. And in bones, fur, a lot of also the renal function, etc. So what do we do with this insight? You have heard about? That's the reason why Brian Johnson copies the rats. His son, 18 years old, gave him his young blood, and Brian Johnson is now hoping not to age. But there are other ideas. There is the idea to clean, to wash our blood. This is Lifespan. This is Dobry Kiprov. They are doing plasmapheresis. They are washing the blood, and they try to filter out the aging molecules, because there are special molecules in our blood who makes us aging. And they are replacing the albumin, and they are replacing the plasma. This is really a tough therapy. So let us have the last idea, what will come. We see it here. The personalized diagnostics and therapies, they will come. When you see what we can do in future to give us a longer, healthy life, then it will not be that. Because here you have a one-fits-all medicine. You have a lot severe side effects. You have a lot of no side effects, but no effect. Here you see, and a good effectiveness you have only for a part of people. In future, you will, and we are doing it now, and we will show it to you now here on stage. In future, you will be able to measure via biomarkers in the blood, also in the saliva, the microbiome. You can have a genome analysis, you can have an epigenome analysis, a transcriptome analysis, and much more. And you need AI to build up a twin, a digital twin of your person and what is happening in your body. And then you can organize a personalized medicine which is now really biomarker-based. And now you see here low severe side effects and a huge effectiveness for the most of the people. And what will come in the future, you see it here, the epigenetic reprogramming. This is Altos Labs, for example. Altos Labs is working very well financed on rejuvenation of organs, of your liver, of your renal system, also your heart, blood plasma therapies, you just saw it, stem cell therapies. It's a huge field. Fecal transplants, young fecal, you give it to people who are old to rejuvenate their microbiome. Gene therapies, also a huge field. Organoids, also fighting zombie cells, which are not dividing anymore, but increasing in your body, and they are producing inflammatory secrets. Very, very dangerous. How can we fight them? Mitochondria, we can breed them in bioreactors and give you young mitochondria. Interesting idea. Nutritional supplements, hormone therapies, and medication. Yeah, that's what is coming, and now is coming that what is now possible in these days. And we have 5 experts who will present to you practical-wise what you can do to stay longer healthy and to live a longer healthy life. And you have, all of you, if you dare, the opportunity to try some of these instruments and devices. This is also very interesting. And I'm very happy that I have 2 to help me. But first, we have perhaps time for one question. Is there somebody who would like to ask something? But I'm very grateful, thank you, that you stayed 45 minutes on an event like this, where it's really not normal that people are really concentrated and focused on a topic like that. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we will start, huh? Okay. He is presenting. This is for you, I guess. Yeah, like a second insight. He's presenting wearables. I have here one. I have here one. Wearables which are, you know, measuring your sportive efforts. Yeah. But they can do a lot of more. He, for example, is using the heart rate variability measurement for his work with wearables, with special types of wearables. And I would like to introduce him, Florian Wolf. Please come here to me. I had to be close to the presentation. Here it's better also for the camera. And he sent a really nice introduction of himself, and I would like to read it. His devices are embedded in an integral and advanced therapeutic concept. He leads the way in advancing preventive medicine and stress management, providing comprehensive, holistic solutions tailored for multinational corporations, corporate leaders, and individuals. With a lot of experience spanning over 2 decades, Florian combines expertise in neurobiology and behavioral change. This is a sophisticated introduction. So, and his motto I love: start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. He's the CEO of Your Prevention, Switzerland, Florian Wolf.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. And let me give you an overview about why tracking of health is so useful. Whom of you is wearing actually a fitness tracker? Just raise your hand. A few. Now, we've been in the tracking because we understand that humans do not change just because of cognitive insights. You all know what might be good for you, right? It's not a matter of knowing. We need hard data to understand where are we and what do we need. And I want to introduce you a little bit. What is the benefit of really tracking this data? Now there's a huge, large offer of wearables out there. There's different colors, there's different brands, but also devices are kind of focusing on certain activities that you do. There's something if you are a triathlete, as I am. There's something if you are hiking, playing golf, no matter what. And they are quite comprehensive depending on what model you take. But there is the simple ones. It's just an armband, but they still provide the most important data. We will look into the important data of what they deliver a little bit later on. Now, they can even be smaller. So if you're kind of annoyed having kind of big watches on your arm while sleeping, for example, this could be an option. There is the brands that you know, they're kind of chic, they're kind of en vogue, Apple Watch, but also quite new development. There is Rolex look-alike with ECG functions. There is all kind of stuff. What I like, and I fully understand that, my wife, but also I have 2 daughters, 17 and 22, they wear the ring because they say, oh, come on, that's huge. I cannot sleep with that. And the ring is more something I can wear in everyday life. They all provide the same data. It's all an optical sensor that is integrated in these devices. There is also, if you're more into athletes or sports, there is the armband Hoop with an app. So you don't have a display on your arm, you just measure and then you check on your phone. And the golden standard, I say that because we're data addicted. So I love the valid evidence-based data. This is the recorder connected with 2 electrodes to the skin. I'm extra wearing one today to see how I behave on stage, if this is very stressful or if you can manage that. You can see the data later on. And this is connected with electrodes. So it has 1,000 hertz of discovering every heartbeat in the body with an app. No matter what you take, the data that is measured with all these devices, ideally, it's very small, but no matter, I tell you what it is. The most important part of all these data is heart rate and heart rate variability. This is one of the most interesting insights in human physiology, which is super reliable. But then, the data itself is mostly derived from the heartbeat. Also, the stress and the sleep quality. So how do these devices discover sleep and stress? Because they look in your heart rate, what is the kind of amplitude in your heart rate, and what is your average, and how is your heart rate variability. But furthermore, if you're into training, the more advanced models, they give you training effect, they give you training readiness, they tell you how long to pause, and they even discover VO2 max. Now, if we talk about longevity, VO2 max is one of the markers that is super important for cardiovascular health because it describes the amount of oxygen your body is able to uptake. And how would you ideally raise the VO2 max? Training. So that is the kind of impact continuous endurance training has on human health. Then there is other markers such as body temperature, breathing frequency, and blood oxygen levels. This is kind of further new. The body temperature is super interesting. Why? Because it is associated with the immune system. So if you look into the watches, and if you look at all these markers, you can see kind of changes in your health, especially in the winter time when there's flus coming, and I had a viral infection in December. It took me 5 weeks to actually get back onto normal state, but I saw this 2 days in advance. Interesting, the American Army during COVID, they were providing devices because they couldn't measure all these guys and women for COVID because it's a few hundred thousands. So what did they do? They did the tracking, and if heart rate variability was indicative, they said, hey, you do a COVID test. And the ratio of positive COVID tests was significantly higher because the watch was showing that 2 days earlier before people even recognized things are going wrong. So the predictive quality of all that is amazing. And we have further new things, menstrual cycle tracking, activity management, and breathing exercises. So they would also allow you or support you in the everyday doing. Now, what is the key function of all that? In my opinion, it is heart rate variability. Just as a quick explanation, heart rate variability is not the amount of beats per minute of your heart, it's the distance in between the heartbeats. And the healthy heart beats totally irregular. So if you're relaxed, if you sleep well, you have a high variability. It has nothing to do with a disease. The heart is easy to adapt. If you breathe faster, the heart breathes faster. If you breathe slower, the heart also adapts to that. Now the optical sensors that is here, and you see the green light in the back of the watch, has an accuracy at rest of an ECG. So if you don't move, if you keep your hand like this while sleeping, you have ECG quality. So the problem is just when you move, and that's the algorithm, and that's why sleep tracking is super valid. And during the day, it's okay, because they have algorithms to kind of filter it, but the optical sensor replaces the ECG where you normally have kind of quite a few electrodes, which is really fascinating. So you understand this is absolutely valid. Now, why do we use heart rate variability? As we understand that if variability is dropping, and that is associated with stress, and we have measured a few thousands of data in the past 25 years. This is a little bit our DNA. We measure, we look at the data, and we understand what do humans need to kind of do the next step. One challenge that we're all facing is we are always on. You all can work from early morning, Monday morning, to late night, even Sunday evening. You can skip holidays, no problem. But the always on has one side effect, that you stepwise lose the ability to switch off. Now, knowing this, and if you look into kind of a graph of heart rate variability, this would be a stressful day of a person over 24 hours, and that is how an always on would look like. This is not a problem because if I'm concentrated like I am now, I would be red too. I even see this on my watch, right? Yeah, pretty red. So the crucial thing is, are you able to kind of come into a good state of equilibrium at the end? And this is pretty interesting because if we are always on, there's a lot of neurobiochemical side effects, such as one that I want to show you is the cortisol. The cortisol is the activity hormone. The activity hormone is high in the morning and low in the evening. We're active in the morning, we should get tired in the evening. Now, when we are always on, the cortisol upregulates. So we have more cortisol. What is the side effect? And that is, when we talk about longevity, so important. The risk for depression, anxiety, for cardiovascular events is significantly elevated. So if we talk about compression of morbidity, this is what it is about. We need to understand that behavior is inducing neurobiology and the vice versa and the other way around. And the downregulation is the other effect that could happen. If we spend too much energy over a long period of time, our system drops. So the side effect of downregulation of cortisol is exhaustion. We cannot anymore. So we need to understand that all these holistic approaches, when we measure heart rate variability, are also a mirror of the internal biochemical processes. And also, it allows us to have a view into why do we think the way we think, why do we behave the way we behave, and why do we feel the way we feel. Now, moving ahead, and I want to give you something on your way, that you have a kind of clearer view on how can I protect myself. Now, we're not exhausted overnight. We don't have a mental disease overnight. There is a certain sequence. First of all, we have nervousness. We're upregulated. The second step typically is we have a change of mood. So ups and downs, aggressive, anxious, worries, thoughts, fears. We have then a loss of regeneration because anxiety is protective. It allowed us, when we were living in the woods, to not fall asleep when there was still danger around. So after the loss of regeneration, if we do not sleep adequately, we come into exhaustion, and that is where mental and physical diseases are way more likely. Statistics, 1/3 of the population, that includes all of us, are affected in the red zone. And that is true in all collectives. We work with pupils under 20, we work with students aged 20 to 29, we work with executives. It doesn't matter. It's always the same number. So we need to be aware this is epidemic. We need to take care of ourselves. Now, how can we do so? By the way, this is worldwide data. McKinsey has made a great survey with employees. 1 out of 4 employees worldwide is affected by symptoms of burnout, which is a pretty large number. Now, how would that look in terms of fitness tracking and wearables? Now, this is a perfect, I wouldn't even say perfect, ideal case. This is stress during the day and recovery during night. So there's a decrease of body battery. But look, this is how it looks in a lot of people. You still can recover, but you spend way more energy than you're able to give your body back. And that is where vulnerability starts. Now, wearables are, though, an evidence-based tool to measure vulnerability at an early stage. Like, remember the early signs of, of a COVID infection, as trackers would allow you to have kind of an idea. They also show you this decline process that you're in a certain state of physical or mental disease. Look, we have a lot of data that people that have lost the recovery at night have 30-fold more depression, more panic attacks and anxiety. But it's the same also for cardiovascular disease. Again, if we talk about compression of morbidity, that we have a long, hopeful, long life with healthy years at the end, this is what it is about, because it gives you the ability to kind of objectify and understand where you are. Now, we have been combining wearables because it's just physiological data, then also with biographic data. So we use questionnaires that are super valid to understand what is your state, how do you feel, what are your symptoms, but also what is your trait, what is your personality type, because we're different personalities. And everyone needs different approaches. It's super individual. If I tell you to meditate, some of you would say, fantastic. Some of you would say, why should I meditate? I do sports. Oh, that's not the same. So you need an individual approach to make things happen. Then we look into vulnerability if sleep is a problem and or if day stress is a problem. We have a lot of people, they do sleep good, they have a wonderful sleep, but they still have a decline of energy because they have a huge level of day stress. So I work a lot with executives since a long time, and they say, I can handle that good, I sleep good, and I'm very powerful during the day. Yes, that's okay, but your risk increases. Because the more we are active during the day and we do not pause, the more we lose the ability to switch off. Probably you know that, you're on holiday, you have 2 weeks of time, but most of the people it takes like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days to cool down. Have you ever experienced that? You're in the most beautiful places and it's like, oh sorry, hey, where am I? It takes so long, so the system is declined in switching off. And that is just fascinating, in AI, we work with AI soon, it's already working, so the system is fed with a lot of holistic data. We cannot even understand how does it all work together, but the system will tell you, hey, I have noticed that you haven't slept good for the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. May I give you some suggestions? Because we do live tracking and the system would give you kind of support at the right time to go, and the system knows your personality type, so we will not tell you, please do meditate, because I'm probably not a meditation person. And then you can also go directly into professional support as well. Now, elevating longevity with tracking is, in my opinion, very much switching off. Learning to press the pause button and to speed up again after that. So we can objectify health, which is super important. A lot of people have lost the body-mind connection. They don't feel anymore what's important for them. It's about understanding. So data is for those who are very cognitively strong, good for understanding where am I. It's about learning to perceive again. And at the end, and that's the most important thing, change is conscious decisions. You take the decision which is based down here. So what I want to give you on your way, whenever you use trackers, to allow yourself to speed up, yes for sure, but first, go slow to go fast. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much. Very interesting. Thank you so much. He has to switch on my mic. Perhaps you can understand. So thank you so much. I guess I saw you were so interested altogether. I would like to know what you are wearing here.
That's a sensor, the first speed sensor. So that's the one I showed. That's the one with the electrodes. Yeah, that's the one with the electrodes. So I'm wearing that. It's actually connected here and here, and it gives me a direct feedback on my telephone.
And which would you recommend to individuals?
For everyday tracking, this is not very convenient. I would suggest a watch or a ring. I love the watches because they are the most, well, depending on the manufacturer, they have the most evidence in data, and I love the valid data. But this one is good for initial diagnostics.
And the Aura ring, many of you do know that.
I like it because it's a very practical approach. And the data is okay. The algorithms sometimes do not really fit with your situation. That's just my experience, but better than nothing.
Yeah, and you need professionals to read out what they do, what they tell you. Thank you so much. He's a real professional. Thank you, Florian Wolf. Wow. And now I'm happy to introduce, there is Joanna Bench. She is the CEO and founder of Longevity Center. And Longevity Center has its headquarters in Warsaw and also a branch in Zurich, and is now building up a lot of other other centers in the whole world. And they are really delivering therapeutics, diagnostics on the highest level of science-based insights and personalized, really impressive treatments. Joanna, thank you for being here, and happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday to her. It's so kind that you join us here, and we are really grateful. So you will now give us a short overview what you are doing, and the 15 minutes is not enough for all your work what you are doing. Thank you.
Teaching. Can you hear me? Yes. It's great to be here, and I think I can use this pointer. Thank you very much, Nina, for great presentation and great introduction. So I don't have to repeat anything about what is longevity actually about, because you have already had quite a lot of knowledge in the first two sessions. So as Nina kindly said, what we are doing as a company, as Longevity Group and Longevity Centers, we are implementing this knowledge into, let's say, practical use in our clinics. So we combine it also with medical. This is me. As it was already revealed, today is my birthday, which I love birthdays. I am 52, and also, as you can see, we are also doing a lot of tracking. So not only we use different devices to monitor and help us actually to understand how we are. We are using also, of course, a lot of medical data to see the real physical health, but also we are using different aspects of biological aging. And one of the, if you talk about pretty healthy people, in order to understand how they are actually progressing in the quality of their health, this is a very nice and very interesting way that the longevity is validated through biological aging. Historically, to validate anything in time, whether any drug or intervention works long-term and thus influence longevity, we had to do multi-year studies. Today, we are trying to actually use AI, as it was already said, and a number of different biological ages. And there's no one that is telling you everything about your health, but it's actually a set of biomarkers. So you can see some of my biomarkers are actually reflecting of the type of a person that is really taking care of her health, but it's also in the, kind of in the right age. I don't want to be 20 because it's just not realistic biologically, but I want to be biologically younger than other people born on the same day, the same year. But I will come back to that because I will also show you how we are doing that. So, okay, there's something wrong with the slide because it's actually it should be myself and, oh no, there's something wrong with my slides. Sorry for that. Should we? Okay. No, but there's something wrong with the slides completely. Maybe we could restart it. Sorry, 2 minutes. Okay. So maybe in the meantime, I would just tell you, we have two centers, operational centers one in Warsaw, one in Switzerland. And we are a medical clinic, but also we are a company that is building a number of licensing. It's a licensing model to build the clinics around the world. What we do, first of all, we are doing a very proper 360-degree assessment of your health. So from blood tests, hormonal tests, many different markers that also Nina mentioned, from oxidative stress to also a lot of very typical medical assessments like ultrasound or DEXA or MRI. And then our doctors who are trained in longevity medicine, but also, let's say, in preventive and personalized medicine, are looking at the results together with our dietitians, psychologists, sleep experts, because we also do a lot of assessments of sleep, stress, exercise, functional fitness of a person. And then after that, we are giving recommendations of what is actually your personalized baseline. I really hope the presentation will work now. Not so much. So let's see when I continue. So what is the difference between longevity medicine or longevity centers to a traditional medicine? First of all, the centers are focusing on any stage of life, And a person that is actually not coming to us because they are sick and they want to do a quick fix of something that is wrong with their health, but it's actually to understand where you are today with your physical and biological conditions, and also what is your own baseline. And then, so it's more proactive, it's definitely personalized, and it's definitely focusing on preventive health. The longevity medicine, and I will also tell you what we are doing as a collaboration of different clinics around the world as well, because we are today looking for gold standards for longevity medicine. From the experience of the best clinics that I have got to know and collaborate with, we are focusing on physical health, but also very important emotional health and mental health. So on the mental health, we also look at your cognitive assessment. You talk to psychologists or sometimes psychiatrists, to a coach, so that we really understand where you are on your emotional and also psychological level. Again, I'm sorry, the slides are a little bit mixed up. As in our centers, we are dividing our knowledge into different core areas. So we are focusing on metabolic health and nutrition. Definitely we are very strongly focusing on female health, and Nina already pointed out that hormonal replacement therapies are not something that is actually yet widely known and understood and recommended to women at any age. But this is a very, very big area, because it's not only about menopause or premenopause, but it's also about reproductive health and really understanding how women are aging differently to men. And I'm really not, it's not about being a feminist or not, but it's really about the fact that we are biologically different. Then we are also very strongly looking at sport and performance. So, and this one, it's a very, very important area of longevity. I mean, muscle is one of the, muscles are the most important, let's say, areas for our physical strength, you know, at any stage of our life. But also male performance. We have, whether this is physical health or if this is sexual health, I mean, these are all aspects that are very important to us at any age, whether we are 20 or whether we are 70 or 80, we want to feel at our best. Then brain and memory. I mean, this is a very big area. We have a number of doctors, but also psychologists, neurologists, and psychiatrists that have created both diagnostics, the best-in-class diagnostics that we can actually measure today where we are, but also interventions. What can we do to postpone the onset of Alzheimer? As you know, today there is no one drug that is actually helping us to drug against Alzheimer, and the best drug is actually prevention. We know today a lot about what is enhancing the onset of Alzheimer, and this is what actually the preventive medicine is about. We look at your microbiome, we look at your brain images, we look at what you eat, what is your lifestyle, and knowing the data, knowing the research, we are able to give you a recommendation of how to design your lifestyle, your diet, to actually mitigate the risk factors. And also sleep medicine, which was mentioned. We are using a lot of different trackers from our own day-to-day basis, but also First Beat, that was, I think, mentioned, and also many other devices that clients can use at home, or the doctors can actually validate as, you know, based on medical devices. Okay, this is the traditional assessment takes about between 4 to 5 hours, but the more extensive assessments of understanding your physical and emotional health are about 2 days, because really depends on how many tests do we have to do. And you know, this is, first of all, and it's very, very important for longevity clinics that are focusing on longevity medicine and are actually medical centers. We have to focus on a really good quality of medicine. So we really look at all the available diagnostics to understand your organs, where we are actually, and also to understand how different organs are aging. What is the speed of aging of different organs? And we are looking actually for the weakest link or the risk factors. And there's certain clients that are, of course, coming with certain conditions that we need to react immediately, which we, of course, do. But also, we try not to miss something that is obvious or very important to your health. So we don't want you to have a biological age in one aspect of 20 and then die of something stupid because we didn't check your liver or we didn't check your heart condition. So of course, responsible medicine first, and then also we are using different tests and interventions that are already available for longevity. So we are focusing on integrative approach. As Nina was saying, everything we do is science-based. We have a very strong scientific advisory board. Then unfortunately, the slide didn't work, but one of the head of the advisory board is Eric Verdin, who is the head of Bach Institute, one of the most recognized institutes on research on aging in the world, and a number of different experts that are meeting regularly with us to validate our tests. Then we focus on a personalized program based on our multidisciplinary team. So we don't only have one doctor telling you what to do, but also we have a number of other experts involved. I might have missed it, but I don't know whether we discussed hallmarks of aging. I mean, this is very important, both on the scientific side, everything that Nina already discussed from the science perspective, but most of the clinics are referring to hallmarks of aging as a gold standard in terms of taking really the science into practical use. So most of our tests and interventions are referring to hallmarks of aging. Data, I mean, it was also said, we are generating a lot of data points at the moment, and AI would be actually very, very important for us to expand globally, because today we have very talented doctors doing the integration of the knowledge and recommendations, but the future of longevity will definitely be, as Nina pointed, the digital twin, really understanding your data points and giving you the best recommendations that were validated in many different clinics around the world. These are some of the biological ages that we are currently use. And most of our clients, actually, to a lot of people's surprise, are actually pretty young. So most of the people coming to the longevity clinic are about 40 to 45, because this is the best age actually to start, not to mention a bit earlier for women, but this is where we see actually the biggest potential. So our clinics are very much, they don't look very medical, they look very, let's say, lifestyle. And we want the clients to be well taken care of in terms of medical care, but also to feel at home and to feel like in a 5-star hotel. What is very important is longevity interventions, and I'm very happy that we are today in a place like that, because some of the interventions that we use, like cryochamber, hyperbaric chamber, red light, that we had to validate before we started using. And again, I will come back to you with regards to to how we use it. But you can see some of the technologies here and possibly more. But we are using only those that have clear validation with regards to certain aspects of whether hallmarks of aging or longevity. And today there's just no one intervention that solves all our problems. So we are really personalizing recommendations. And very often we have protocols that are different to different people coming to with different conditions or needs to us. So if you would like to, for example, focus on your sleep, you will receive a different protocol to somebody that wants to lose weight or somebody that wants to really improve their sexual performance or their physical performance. We use a lot of, okay, we will have to wrap up. So definitely coming back to just one presentation before us, we use a lot of trackers. And this is something that also you will find a lot of companies here in FIBO. And I think with that, I might actually wrap up because we will see each other a few more times during the day, and I am available to any questions that you might have about clinics. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Kro, danke. Happy birthday, and thank you so much. I'm sure that there will be a lot of questions. Thank you very much to do this. Very practical. So she brings science into practice, also flowers into delivery. Okay, thank you very much. And now from Longevity Center and from Andrea Gartenbach. She is a physician, but one of the first longevity physicians on the, I guess, German-speaking market. And she's also specialist in internal medicine, and she is stress medicine professional. So she knows everything what is happening here. And she will now, you have to come on stage, because she will now show you how some devices are working or also some biomarker testings. Andrea, please start. You have your microphone.
But I think, oh yes, now it is. Hey, welcome everyone. I'm super delighted that some of you can try one of the tools I'm using in my clinical practice, as Longevity Center is using, and yeah, a few things you can implement in your life, even without a clinic. So the first thing is clinic related. We talk about, or it was already talked about, the hallmarks of aging and the importance of the mitochondrial and the autophagy. So what we will have a look at is the high altitude training. So who wants to try it? Someone here? Okay, perfect. So you can just come here and, okay, I don't move. So you can sit here, and what you get is you get a mask, and the mask will give you the stimulation of going into the higher atmosphere. So you are going up a mountain and coming down to the normal pressure of oxygen. And so the game between less and more oxygen stimulates different factors in your body. And so we can, it makes sounds. Ah, like that? Okay. So it stimulates different factors like NRF2, HIF1 alpha, and different other modalities to support mitochondrial rejuvenation. And yes, so this is something you should try, and tell us then how you feel, how it is at 5,000 meters on the mountains.
I use your microphone. Okay, please don't cut my, okay, thank you very much. Only one question. This device, I can have it personally, privately in my home, and when I want to use it, how often do I do that? And do I have diagnostics for that, or is it very well also to do it when I'm 45 and older, so I should use it?
That have been a few questions. So the first one, there was a Nobel Prize 2019 given for the, how do you say that, like given for the system here. You can have it at home. It depends a little bit on your pocket size and the money you want to spend. There are many different clinics and private practices already who are offering the high altitude training. It's very well known for long COVID, post-COVID, and post-vax syndrome. There are very nice data out of it. There are great data out there. Use it in sports medicine and regeneration. I published research about that, so you can get that at the Meet of It stand. And then, yes, you can use it in every age. So if you're sick or not sick, for the sick people, we do need testings. We do need to test the mitochondria. We do need to test your HRV. And then, to make it a little bit more personalized and focused. But if you're healthy and young, or not young, but healthy, you can do it. The best thing is to do it once to twice a week for 10 to 12 sessions. So this is science approved. And then like use it once a month, kind of.
Once a month. And how
Yes.
long does she have to remain like that?
So the initial phase is 40 minutes, and then you can play a little bit with the training and the recovery phase. So it's something between 30 minutes and 40 minutes. If you're very sick, if you suffer from long COVID, and you're very fatigued with a chronic fatigue, it takes about 50 to 60 minutes. It depends a little bit how you react, but this system tells you what to do.
So we cannot ask her for the effects because she has to sit now 40 minutes. Okay, let's go ahead.
But something very important, the most effects in longevity medicine, you will not feel it immediately. Because what we do is we work on cellular level, and so it needs time, it needs reputation, like sports. You're not doing it once and be fit again. So reputation and consistency is the
But
key.
you feel fine. Okay,
Great.
let's go ahead.
So, do you want to have my micro, or oh, you don't need it? So perfect. I would like to help you. So the next one from the audience, please. So who wants to try the red light therapy band for a very quick recovery? Okay, we come in front. So who want to try it? Perfect. I hold that, and you can help her. Would
So
you
it's
like to
very
tell a little bit
easy.
about it?
This is a device that helps us to do the session of red light therapy, which is like a session of light that will go transcranial, and it will help you to concentrate better, will improve your mental health, like brain health, so will help you to perform better in a cognitive way. So that's just amazing. So you need to just sit.
And you are from Longevity Center, so this is science-based. What the Longevity Center is recommending is science-based, so please.
Put it on.
And while she is trying the red light therapy, the next one from the audience
think
is
you
more than
should
welcome to try the hand cryo
Yes,
chamber
it needs to
device. So
kind of-
who want to try this one? Yes, perfect. You're here already. So it's here. Everyone can just go and try it. The science or the purpose around it is not a full body cryo. It's a hand focused cryo to support patients and individuals with rheumatoid arthritis and also cool down the bloodstream of the body. Go there and try. And we do have the second one, so we need another one from the audience who wants us to try these AGE-ACE reader. So it can read the like kind of illness or arteriosclerosis risk of your wrist in a 12-second assessment. So, perfect. Come here. Okay. Then,
You need your hands.
as you all
yeah,
know, it's super.
like
Oh,
here,
sorry.
this.
We have to know how it works. We a little bit in delay, but it's not a problem.
Okay.
We cut down a little bit our discussion afterwards.
Just breathe normally. Yeah, so this is 12 seconds assessment. We will understand what is like the situation of cardiovascular. Is there any problems with like first signs of diabetes or other problems?
And it's not
Not
important.
invasive.
It's not important which if it's the arm, if it's the leg.
It has to be the arm, this part of the arm, yeah. And right now it's like through ultraviolet. It is measuring, seeing, controlling the veins, and it will give us a very shortly like the result. Yeah.
So now the result, please.
1 second. Just
Again, 12 seconds. How often do you have to do that?
well, like twice. That's all.
Okay, then we come back. Okay.
So
Andrea.
then we all know that sleep and longevity is super important and that we are all distracted through the lights during the day when we look into our phones or have LED light. So there's one super simple solution I would love to present, and I need another one from the audience as well to try the different classes. And I would love Daniel to explain a little bit why one is yellow, why one is orange, and what effect does it have on the body.
So the orange ones are to block 100% blue light because it destroys our sleep, and it's that simple, literally. You wear it like 1 to 2 hours before you go to bed, and then you sleep better. There are a couple of studies behind it as well, but in the end it's logic. It's pure logic. This light we have here is totally bullshit for us. And I would advise you, like, try those glasses and see how your nervous system reacts, see how your body feels, and I think that's the most important thing to feel better for yourself again. Yeah.
And you have to mention when you're looking at your emails, when you're watching TV, that's very important.
Yeah, especially for the evening. We also have the glasses for the day. Yeah, because in extreme environments, and this one is an extreme environment, it's really important to block blue light as well, because you have a lot of oxidative stress on your retina, and a lot of eye diseases today are correlated to toxic light. Yeah.
And I would love to say one sentence. If someone is coming to me and say, I have blue filter in my glasses, like you have it here, why is this not effective as your glasses from light block?
So the transparent glasses only block up to 15 to 20% of blue light, so the peak, but actually it doesn't make any difference. So what you want to have like block a lot of light, and especially for the evening, for good sleep, it's important to block 100% of blue light. And for the day, of course, the light is really important. So you would wear those glasses 1 to 2 hours, then you will go outside again, because we live in a world where we actually need more light, more natural light, you know, and nature is radical. And I think it's really important to understand that we need to build a bridge between the digital world and nature. And yeah.
So we will go to bed, your girlfriend and you, always with 2 wonderful glasses on your head. Okay, thank you very much. So first of all, I would like to listen. Do you feel something?
It's a little bit distracting because you can sense all the impulses, but it's hard to say for the moment.
But you feel something, really. Okay, so perhaps afterwards you would like to test it as well. Better concentrating, so we will ask you again. And your 1 second, please. We need the result. Excuse me, the result of our client here.
So we have healthy audience over here. So the result was very good. It was all perfect.
The other one?
Yes, a bit like here could be a bit improved, but it's all good still. Yeah.
Okay, but it's good to know.
This is for us a first sign, like to do then like deeper checkup, let's say. So a very brief check assessment, which helps us to understand what is the situation. Yeah.
And if there is something, you have to get deeper. Okay, Andrea.
Yes, I wanted to just have a look on what mountain you are. You are at 3,500 meters. Do you feel well? So no big difference, right? But the cells get challenged a lot during this training time. So the body doesn't feel anything. So it's even for COPD patients or asthmatic patients, it's just the air flow and the concentration of the air which changed. So yeah, enjoy your mountain retreat.
So now we go over there to this huge device. Okay?
Yeah. So I already sent the people to that. So we just need the questions about what it is. So it's a cryo chamber for the hands.
Excuse me, you are talking, you didn't listen to us. No, this is really, no, the hands are not in danger, but they are cool, I guess. So please tell me what you are feeling, and please explain to us what it's good for our healthy longevity.
Yeah, there's some balls there which are cooled down to, I heard, 5 degrees. And it's pretty much cold in the hand palm, in my palm. It is pretty relaxing, actually, to stand here and cool down a little bit, because the air and the atmosphere here is pretty hot, and I find it quite relaxing, yeah.
But we are not doing this for relaxation. We do it for?
Regeneration.
So tell us why.
We developed a device based on scientific studies from Professor Heller from Stanford University, who back in the year 2000 developed for the US military a device to get their soldiers faster fit again, recover.
Is it okay that he stops?
Yeah. So he has a break now. He has active time of 2 minutes, and then he has a 1 minute break.
And how your fingers are now? Okay. Your palms are really cold. And so what does it mean?
So it means we cool down the core temperature of the blood in the palms of your hands for about 1 degree. We lower it by 1 degree. And usually what will happen, the brain stops the circulation of the blood circle because it says, I don't want to have the blood, cold blood in my body, flowing through my body. So we work with under pressure, and the under pressure physically enables the blood to circulate through the whole body. And based on the studies from Professor Heller, we have a special, jetzt fehlt mir das Wort.
In Deutsch?
Nee, mir fällt es gerade.
Auf Deutsch?
Fällt's mir auch nicht ein.
Oh, okay. Also,
Kapillare.
I see capillaries.
Sorry. Special capillaries in the palms of your hands, which directly send the cold blood to the heart, and from the heart sending it through the whole body. So even you only cool down your hands, your whole body will be affected because it circulates through the whole body.
It's like ice bathing.
It's rather like a cryo chamber, honestly speaking. The difference is it's a soft cryotherapy, because there's a lot of people who cannot use the cryotherapies, cryosaunas, because of the minus 120 degrees. So in here, basically everyone can use Vitas as a cryo device, as a cryotherapy.
So you don't want to have a very expensive cryo cabin in your home, but this you can have.
Exactly, you can have this. Plus, you don't need the people to operate it. You explain it once to a user, and then he can operate the machine by himself.
And that's interesting for the people who are hoteliers or cousin.
Are there any contraindications like Rhino syndrome and so on?
Pregnancy and cold allergy.
So you can still do it if you have Rhino syndrome?
Yes.
Okay.
I have it.
Yes, it works. Yeah.
I'll try it, but when we finish our session today. Okay, Raynaud syndrome. Okay, but could you please explain, as a doctor, what this cold therapy gives us as a positive effect for longevity?
So yeah, we have different point of views there. If we look at the cryo chambers or at the ice bath, it's totally different because the temperature drop down in the body is different. What it does is, if the body is exposed to cold in like a certain way, now we have the hands here, different mechanism in the body promotes rejuvenation and autophagy in your body, and it kind of renews the cells and help them to be stronger. So every time it's exposed to the cold, it has kind of a hormesis effect. That means we stress the body, and then the body can learn how to deal with it and can get better with it. So this is kind of the simple way of explaining.
So I will try it with my Raynaud syndrome afterwards. So this was our collection of self-testing devices. How do you feel? Our last question?
A little bit more concentrated, and the view is more clear. Maybe because I was tired before, I don't know, but it looks like it's working.
So she says she was tired before, and now she's more energetic, more concentrated. Wow.
This is great.
10 minutes. Thank you very much. So the devices remain here, so you can use them if you would like to, also during our discussion now on the panel. Thank you, Andrea. You will stay here. Because, no, you will come back because we have a discussion here with her also on stage. Thank you, Andrea.
See you later.
And now we have here our next presentation. Nutritional supplements. This is a huge market, and so many people are confused because the market is exploding, and even the new generation of supplements, so many people do not know, are they working, where are the scientific proven supplements. So she is the founder, co-founder, and also scientific head of Avea, who are producing nutritional supplements of the new generation, and they work consequently science-based, and they are working transparently, that you can understand what the tests are really delivering for your health and for your longevity. So now Sophie Chablos is presenting her work, Avea.
Thank you, Nina. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this session on longevity. So yeah, let's take a deep dive in the world of supplements and what science-based supplements means. But before, I would like to know who would be willing to take between 100 and 200 pills per day if that meant rejuvenation. Ooh, Niels, of course. Some people are just more risk averse. So yeah, apparently Brian Johnson, which was mentioned earlier, takes 115 pills a day, but the record goes to Ray Kurzweil, the futurist, who takes 200 pills per day. But before we choke on pills, let's define what science-based supplement means. What is a science-based supplement? And when we review the science that exists for a specific molecule or supplement ingredient, we first need to rate what is the evidence, what is the quality of the evidence out there. And there is a hierarchy in scientific evidence. So, of course, it always starts with animal studies, human cells, in the lab, so that's very important. You don't go directly test a new molecule or some ingredient on a human. But that's not enough. What we want when we start to select ingredients is we want to see at least some good, like yellow, green, blue, and the golden standard being randomized controlled trial with like a full placebo control, which is not always possible for a supplement brand because it's logistic and also financially to produce a whole fake supplement is difficult, but when you're testing single ingredients, that is possible. And then the highest proof is, of course, a meta-analysis or a systematic review where you look at all the evidence out there, you rate it, and you write a summary and rate the evidence. So when we then go out and find the studies about the ingredients that we think we want to select, what do we look for? We look for ingredients that target the hallmarks of aging. So this topic has been covered, but again, the hallmarks of aging are really those declining mechanisms in your body that decline with time that are at the root cause of aging. And I had my team map most of our ingredients to show which hallmark they potentially target. Then most ingredients that target hallmarks of aging, interestingly, are molecules that are naturally present in our body. We already have these, but they tend to decline with age. So it's a good idea to replenish them, and through the diet, it is just not efficient enough because you will never get a concentration high enough of an NAD precursor. You would need to eat kilos and kilos of broccoli. If you want CoQ10, you need to eat organ meat. You need to eat a lot of beef hearts, for example, and who wants to eat that? So it's a good idea to take a precursor or to take those molecules to replenish those levels within your body. And then I won't give you a biology class, but how these ingredients are targeting the hallmarks of aging is that they are targeting mechanisms in the cells that are associated with longevity. So for example, mechanisms that can influence inflammation. Inflammation is very much at the heart of the hallmarks of aging. Mechanisms that can influence autophagy, which is the cellular renewal, also mitophagy, which is mitochondrial renewal, but also senescence, so those zombie cells, and glucose and insulin sensing, which is very important. And what does this mean for us as a human being? You know, because, okay, you target the hallmarks of aging, what am I going to feel? So in some cases, you don't feel anything, right? In some cases, it's a bet. It's like you brush your teeth and you hope you will not get cavities in the long run, right? Sometimes you still get a bit of cavities, but you would not know how bad it would have been without, right? But in other cases, you do feel an effect, and that is often more energy, better cognitive function, better memory, improved sleep, better immune system, better blood sugar balance, better skin, also hair, nails. I mean, it's not just vain, right? Healthy skin is a sign of health. Healthy growing hair is a sign of health. And all of this can contribute to lower your biological age. So I took these two examples, a bit complicated, won't go into details, but for example, NAD precursors and spermidine tick all these boxes. They target most of the hallmarks of aging, they target specific pathways, or so-called longevity pathways, and they are naturally present in the body and tend to decline with age. And another example on how science is done on spermidine. So there are many studies on spermidine, but I found this good visuals that really shows, okay, it started with a study on fruit flies because, you know, they don't live a long time. So it's really easy, really cheap to study them, showing benefits on olfactory memory, so their sense of smell. Then the results were replicated on mice, where they could show benefits on learning memory. And finally, there was a cohort study done on humans, where they also saw benefits on memory, and cognition. So this is very strong. When you see a pattern and that you can prove it across species, then it's usually a good sign for an ingredient. And we did something similar with a patent-pending ingredient that we have in our collagen activator, which is called Colgevity, where we first started not on fruit flies, but on C. elegans, which are little worms. Same thing, they don't live a long time. They're very easy to reproduce in a lab. And we could show that the compound was upregulating collagen production and even extending the lifespan of these organisms. Then we also tested it on human skin cells and could show that these are genes, the col that you see in the x-axis, there are genes that code for collagen expression in your body. And we could see that all these genes are upregulated by this ingredient. We moved on to mice and had good benefits on frailty. And finally, we're conducting a human study in a dermatology clinic in Zurich. These are preliminary 1 month results. We're now analyzing 3 months results. We now have 60 participants. These are results on 46 participants. And we could show a significant improvement on skin texture, a very big improvement on hydration, on brown spots, UV spots, on pores, and on wrinkles, but not significant. And now at 3 months, I can already tell you that elasticity also looks better. We're using 3 different machines to assess this, so not just a VISIA, but a corneometer and a cutometer. And we're also measuring biological age before and 6 months after the intervention. So now that we have established a bit more what does it mean, to be science-backed as a supplement, what else do you need to pay attention to when you choose a supplement brand? Most important, safety first. So when you find cheap supplements, especially on Amazon, there's a high likelihood that it's not pure, or it doesn't even contain the active ingredient, right? So you're wasting your money, or even worse, you're getting heavy metals and contaminants. So it's very important to choose brands that do a third-party testing. They don't just trust the specs that they get from suppliers, but they test each raw material every time they release a new batch in a third-party independent lab. And we do that with a lab in Switzerland. We are a Swiss-based company. Then dosage. Of course, dosage is a big question. You want to have a dosage that is high enough to be efficient, but low enough to be safe, right? And usually safety in science is determined by an animal study where you give different dosages to mice. Then you take the dosage that has shown absolutely no side effect. You divide it by 10 because of interspecies variation, right? Humans are not mice. And then you divide it by another factor 10, so a factor 100 in total for intraspecies variation, so men, women, weights. And then depending on the studies and variation, there can be other factors. So scientists usually make sure when they give recommendations that it is absolutely safe. Then, of course, we like lab studies, we like randomized control trial, all of this, but they do not reflect real life situation, and they are usually done on single ingredients or maybe a combination of 2, maximum 3 ingredients, because you want to know what is doing what. But it's very important to have real life case studies as well. So it's important to do customer studies, even if you already launched the products, and even if it's not something really big, just because real life is not like the lab. People forget to take the pills. Other things come into play, like stress or just the variability between people. Of course, they are taking into account in well-designed studies. But you can test whole products. And it's not always easy. You need to find creative solutions. But for example, we have a blood sugar balancing supplement, so it's really easy to measure with a CGM. We had really good results. We use medically recognized surveys, like the WOMAC scale for pain. for our joint pain product. And finally, for example, we used at-home blood test for intracellular NAD levels after an NMN intervention or NMN plus the booster. Of course, not everyone has the same concerns when it comes to aging. That is why it's important to tailor the routine to your specific needs. So we have a holistic approach. We really want to have a comprehensive portfolio, and we can combine the products together. But if you come to me and tell me, oh, what should I take? Which supplements of yours? I will first tell you, are you sure you don't have any of the basic deficiencies, right? And I'm not a fan of multivitamins. I'm a fan of real food, right? But there are some vitamins and minerals that are just a bit more tricky to get through diet alone. And for me, the non-negotiables are vitamin D3 and K2. They work in synergy, right? So the calcium goes into your bones and not into your arteries. Omega-3, because who is eating wild-caught fish 3 to 4 times a week? Magnesium. Because not just because we don't have enough magnesium in the food, but because our lifestyles are so demanding that we are burning through our magnesium way more than we used to. So we are stressed, we are always really productive, we need more magnesium. Of course, athletes also need more vitamins and minerals. Zinc, especially if you're a vegetarian or vegan, for your immune system. And B12, of course, if you're vegan or you have issues absorbing B12. And then nice to have, I would say, a good probiotic. Can be good, doesn't need to be taken forever. It can be taken intermittently. And a methylated B complex, so like an active B complex, because it is estimated that 1/3 of the population has a mutation, which is called MTHFR, where you do not absorb vitamin Bs properly from food. So for some people, it's a good idea to have a good B12 complex. For anything else, like vitamin A or like those types of vitamins, better to test for deficiencies, and then eat a nutrient-dense diet. And then supplements, it's part of a lifestyle. You cannot just take a supplement and then it's done. It's like you don't just do one workout and be like, okay, that was fine, I have a six-pack. No, it's for life. It's really a habit, and consistency is key. We say give it at least 3 months. Just like with skincare, you don't just buy a bunch of creams and change every week. You should give it 3 months. It takes 30 days for the skin cells to replenish and like 90 days to really start to see results. So give it time. So yeah, to sum it up, you want to look for longevity molecules that target the hallmarks of aging and specific pathways that are naturally present in the body, for example. You want to make sure the supplement has been tested for quality and safety. You want to see if the company is doing some customer studies with the finished product and if there is anything that you can measure. You want to cover your base first, make sure you don't have deficiencies in the basic essential nutrients. And you want to tailor your supplement routine to your specific needs. I know not everyone can rate a scientific paper or wants to read 10 papers, so these are really good websites for lay people to find good evidence. So Examine, it's a non-sponsored website where scientists are doing literature reviews all day and then putting this evidence together and grading the evidence with A, B, C, D. And Consensus is an AI platform that does literature reviews. And you can ask a yes or no question. For example, here I asked, does NMN supplementation improve physical performance? And it will look for the best quality studies, and it will give you a consensus. So in this case, 70% of the studies, of the 10 best studies, says yes. But don't forget, supplement is called a supplement because it's meant to supplement a healthy lifestyle, and there's no pill that's going to fix lack of sleep or a bad diet or no movement. You cannot out-supplement a bad lifestyle, so it's really a pyramid, and supplements are the cherry on top of the cake. Thank you very much for your attention. We have a booth over there, so you can come, you can take some samples, you can talk to me. We have flyers. There's a QR code where you can download what we call the Avea Blueprint, which is all about what else you can do in your lifestyle apart from supplements. Yes, happy to hear your questions. Thank you.
Bitte mein Mikro anmachen. It's a running gag. Sophie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's 15 minutes, and we are really fully informed.
I'm Swiss.
That's great. So tell me, where is your Where is your Avea?
So Nicholas is there,
Okay.
our nutrition and longevity coach. Daniel, where is Daniel for partnerships? Yes.
Okay.
And we are around the corner, just behind the olive trees.
So then you will have a lot of guests, I'm sure.
Yes.
Thank you
please.
very much. For perhaps one question? No question. I'm happy because we are running out of time. Thank you very much, Sophie.
Thank
and
you,
please
Nina.
visit her at the Avea
Thank you.
spot. Thank you. So now we are heading into a new dimension. And this dimension I love to read because it's so also poetic and sophisticated. It's an architectural, holistic work of hospitality and art that wants to enable us to cultivate inner gardens. And that's Campus Flussbad. And Dr. Andrea Gartenbach will explain what it is. And Andrea, I introduced her already, but perhaps somebody didn't see her. Andrea is one of the first longevity physicians on the German-speaking market, and she is also a specialist on internal medicine and a stress specialist. So please, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Nina. I'm very delighted to present one of my projects I'm advising, which is the Campus Flussbad, which will be the home Geht das noch? Yeah. Which will be the home of something really new in the field of hospitality and longevity. So, as Nina said perfectly, cultivating inner gardens for longevity, we're gonna create an innovative lab at this Campus Flussbad in Berlin. So, next to the water, Sloaness created and designed a place where hospitality can meet human performance, arts, and hospitality. So Sloaness, the founder of Flussbad, have more than 3 locations running at the moment in Lisbon, Mexico, Bangkok is coming soon, and as well Berlin. It is located next to the water, which is for Berlin a really nice getaway. It's 20 to 30 minutes from the city and from the airport. It is the old Flussbad, Badeanstalt, where in the 60s and 70s the people could go in and feel wellness and bathing into the lakes around. And the access is quite well from the city, but when you go out, as you have seen it on the picture before, it's a lot of green. You look at Plenterwald, but you are still in the city. The reason why it's located there is because nature is so important for us in our performance environment that we need a place where we can integrate health and performance, but still have contact to nature. So the campus will connect the different dots of your daily life. The Redhaus is already open and running, which is a stunning place for meditation, workshops, and sound experience. So if you ever have the chance in the next month to be part of one of their sessions there, it's incredible. You walk into the Redhaus and you already feel the calmness which surrounds everything. So your my heart rate variability always drops from red to the blue, because just the design made out of it is incredible. There is one of the most famous sound designers on board creating binaural beats and sound experience for meditations, for keynotes, for workshops. The Bootshaus will host a restaurant and a clubhouse. The food is coming from their ranch out of Brandenburg, so it's all organic, self-grown food. And in Platte and at Werf, there will be co-working offices and offices, as well as work integrated into the whole campus, because what's important, that we can live our daily life even if we consume healthcare and well-being. For healthcare, we created a health lab. I'm talking a bit more about it in a few seconds. The founder of Flussbad is Klaus Sendlinger, who is the founder of Design Hotels and award-winning, creative, really wonderful, very visionary person, together with Peter Conrads, who is well known for reorganizing the United Nations in early 1990s and taking the financial parts. The Slowness is a collective of people and places and projects reframing the way of life and work and interact. The collective they build, as I said, it's in Mexico and Bangkok, in Lisbon, Tulum. The purpose is to see hospitality living and working in a different kind of way, and so that enhancing human performance. The two philosophies here is the concept of cultivating inner gardens. What does that mean? I think we all know that a garden takes a lot of work to flourish. And this is what health and mindset is as well. We need to take care of us like we have to take care of flowers. Some parts of your garden you have to take a bit more care as the others. So this is how health works as well. And the rapidly advancing field of longevity medicine, where we are in, the longevity industry, as we heard from Nina's presentation in the beginning, is growing super fast. So integrating all these aspects, the science and the knowledge, creates a space for a new movement around individual wellness and health optimization. On that picture, you can see one of the hotel rooms that will be part of the campus. So we will integrate all these aspects into the stay as well. My colleague Guido Axmann and me are advising from the medical point of view. I'm a doctor for internal medicine and focus on functional medicine since years. We founded Art of Longevity. We take care of patients and their whole journey, longevity journey over years, very closely, very personalized, as we do know as more personalized we can go, as better the outcome and then a healthy longevity could be. So Flussbad is there for enhancing the human potential. How do we do this? We're going to create the health lab. It will be on around 400 square meters, where we cultivating a part for movement, a part for regeneration, a part for relaxing treatments and diagnostics on a level where it's accessible every day. So what we want to do is we want to support our members to integrate health habits like cold therapy, hot therapy, diagnostic treatments, movements, all what we know, what guides us to longevity, into one space designed in a surrounding where you can come down, calm down, and where you can really get balanced out. On this part, we will bring you in touch with the most innovative diagnostics and treatments, and always looking out for partners that can support us here. That means we empowering connections and unveiling the transformation between hospitality and longevity. The three main aspects here are the inner gardens of longevity, creating a sanctuary for health in a different kind of view, in a different kind of access, not feeling coming into a clinic, coming into a sick care setting, and really starts flourishing your inner garden and flower. All these are data-driven insight and high-end technologies. It's super important. We listen to really great keynotes like from Nina or from Florian Wolf, how important data is. If we can measure something, we can motivate everyone, and we also can give back our patients or members feeling how they do feel and how they feel the progress. So this will become a new place for technology and participation, and integrating into the hospitality world. For that, thank you. I'm here for questions, if there are any as well. I'm around here. And I'm really looking forward to create more places like that in the world and collaborating with clinics like Longevity Center, what Joanna Bench said, or the international ones we all know.
Thank you, Andrea. So let flourish your inner gardens.
Yeah.
Do we have a little bit, 1 minute for questions? When will you start?
So the rate house is already open. So meditation, sound experience, and workshops are already ongoing. We do create a workshop for hospitality end of the year. So for hospitality members, owners, how to bring longevity into their hotels and how they can train their staff. So there's a lot of things going on already. The health lab will open in Q1 approximately next year. The co-working are already started to go, but the main opening will be beginning of next year.
And we may meet you then? You may meet you over there?
Yeah, you can meet me over there, and fantastic colleagues, because what we do is we integrate not only doctors, we integrate health professionals, movement professionals, every kind of different health participating people.
Very stunning. Thank you very much, Andrea, but you will be here on stage again. So,
see you later.
Thank you. See you later. So now the sixth short presentation. It means it will show you the value of heat and cold stimuli. So the stress of heat and cold, what we also had here, this is a very interesting concept which is not only done by saunas. It's a concept which is also integrating air, light, hopefully music, and a lot of more. It's a pioneering company, I guess. It's the company Klaafs. You all know saunas. And she is the marketing director, yes, the group director marketing. Andrea Bender, thank you for presenting us this pioneering work. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, hello everyone. So I'm here to present Klaafs today and to show you something what we do to provide environments that really that create stimuli or longevity elements like heat, cold, air, movements, all those. And yeah, this is our purpose. This is what we stand for. So maybe for some of you that don't know Klaafs, a short introduction to Klaafs. We're the world's leading manufacturer of saunas, spas, and wellness solutions. We do have 850 employees, and we call us really the innovation leader because we introduced over the last years a lot of new concepts in terms of sauna. We've introduced the first element sauna. We introduced a sanarium, a different kind of sauna. We introduced a retractable sauna, so a space-saving sauna. We introduced just recently a foam steam bath, which is also good for your well-being. And we have a lot of new concepts now here at FIBO. I will talk about that later. So, but besides innovation and besides technology, we strongly focus on design because we say in the past, the sauna was often placed in the basement. But we want to do all this wellness solution should be part of your life, should be part of your daily life. And if you have to go to the basement in the cellar to enjoy and relax, it's maybe not the best place. So we want to bring a sauna or other solutions really in the living space and have it as part of your life. That's why we say we focus also a lot on design. We work with different design studios or designers like Studio FA Porsche. We work with Matteo Thun, Gesa Hansen. They all developed a very different concept for saunas for us. We are headquartered in Schwäbisch Hall. Baden-Württemberg. We also have our production in Baden-Württemberg, Germany. So we can say we really live this German craftsmanship, and we do it, we combine it with the material, with high-end material, so that we really can provide quality also to our customers. Till today, and over the last almost 100 years, because it's almost our century now, we have installed 250,000 private and also commercial spa spaces, and I think we are very proud of that, and we can say we have a lot of experience now in all those things. So what is our purpose? What do we want to do? Because we say that we really want to empower a broad audience to live a conscious and healthy lifestyle. Because obviously a conscious and healthy lifestyle is a basis to really facilitate healthy longevity. And this is the topic here for today, and that's why I'm also happy to present today our wellness concepts. So what do we do? Of course, we want to create these beautiful retreats, so where you can really mentally relax, you can recover, and you can also bring your body and soul into harmony. This is what we want to do, and this is our purpose. How are we going to do that? We, as clubs, we create environments with heat, with cold, with movements, with light, with other impulses that really are positive, natural, and this is important, natural stimuli that have positive effect on our body. And it's important that we create these effects on our body because we have to train our body for self-regulation as well as for regeneration. So as clubs, this is our way to provide natural methods to really improve the health and improve our body and our mind. So why is it so important to have this natural stimuli to our body and to train them to our body functions? First of all, and I think everyone knows, we have to have the ability to adapt to external influences. We all know it is essential for our well-being, and of course, it's also, we know from the past, is essential for our survival. But nothing comes from anywhere. So we have, as we do in sports, and as we build muscles, we also have to train our body functions. We cannot just leave it, because if we don't do something for our body functions, they will get lazy. So we say we need to make them strong against external influences and also to protect our body from external attackers. So this is important. If we don't do it, we lose it, or we say if we don't use our body function on a regular basis, we will lose our body function, or we will at least decrease it. So, and we know it, I had a very interesting conversation with one of our health experts we are working with. So when we have, for example, in the after Corona pandemic, during Corona, we always were wearing masks, or we kept distance to others, which was good in this Corona pandemic, which was obviously helpful. But after the Corona, we saw that there were a lot more infection, there were a lot more cold, people got sick. And why was a reason, what he explained me was that actually our immune system got lazy. Because during Corona, we did the job for our immune system. We protected from attacks from external influences and not our immune system. So after we didn't wear masks anymore and we were in connection with all the people again, our immune system didn't know what to do anymore. So we had to train our immune system again to really learn how to deal with external influences. And now, of course, we're in a state where our immune system knows about it again. So what does it mean? for long-term health, we really need to steal our body and our body functions. We need to give our body functions regular challenges and to encourage our body to self-regulate and to defend against to have this defend mechanisms ongoing. So this is important, and will help us to have that we can defend against these external influences and to keep our resilience. So from class, we therefore have developed very different kind of natural stimuli. So it starts, obviously, sauna is heat or warm, soothing warm. Of course, we also say cold is really important because cold has also other benefits for our health. We provide solutions where we have healthy air. Also a lot of benefits. Movements, we work together with Fraunhofer Institute, for example, to create certain movements to calm you down and you bring your body into harmony. We provide light solutions and we provide other vitalizing impulses, very different ones, very different benefits for our health, but that's why we say, okay, it's not just that you go one day in a sauna and that's it, and you think your immune system and your body function are trained. No, this is not the case. You need to have different stimuli. You need really to have different challenges to your body so that your system learns to deal with all the external influences. But of course, one of the important ones, and that's where we stand for as a class, as a company, and where we developed a lot of new concepts also in the past, is this heat and cold. And I can tell you that both are very important, and we encourage everyone to do a heat treatment as well as a cold treatment afterwards. Because only one treatment, it's not really good. So, and this is very easy to say because our body, needs to want to keep the balance, the internal balance, which is important. But if we go, or if we take a sauna bath, of course, it's stress. It can be stress for our body. It depends on the heat. So if it's, of course, a milder heat, it's not as stressful, it's more milder stress. But if you have like a really hot sauna, it's stress for your body. So your body performance goes down. And then, of course, what your body is doing, and which is also good for you, it widens your blood vessels because they want to, it's because they want to reduce heat. And they want to lower the temperature of the body, and widening the blood vessels is a way or a measure to do that. But on the other hand, as soon as you leave the sauna, your body needs to recover. Your body wants to get back in the state of balance. And you can, of course, you can do it that you just lay down and relax and do nothing, and then it takes a while to relax and your body is in balance again. But we strongly recommend that we say you have to use this cold, but because a cold treatment brings you into balance and into relaxation faster. Because, of course, it works against the heat. So here, your temperature goes up, and then you have to your temperature goes down, and then you have the cold, and then your temperature goes down. So in this way. But also here you have different kind of cold treatments. So you can do a more relaxation treatment, a more wellness cold treatment. So then the temperature or your body recovers so that you get in the state of balance. But you can also do like a cold, we heard about ice water before, you can jump into plunge, whatever, and then the effect is that you have this super compensation. So basically, your body goes in another state of training. It's also stress for your body, And of course, if your body is, or the temperature is really down, it's stress for this stress, and you need to bring it back. If you have a more wellness cool down, it has a similar effect because your body recovers faster and you feel relaxed much faster. And of course, it's also healthier, probably healthier for most of us. So that's why what we are doing, or what have we done in the recent years, and we just introduced new concepts here at the FIBO. We said we want to target a really broad audience because it's not just athletes or who needs to stay healthy, it's for the mass. And we really support that a broad audience stays healthy and lives a healthy lifestyle. That's why we say, okay, they have different needs. They have different needs. Someone likes really cold, someone likes really hot, someone wants to have hot or mild temperature. And we provide stimuli that have very intense training, but on the other hand, a very moderate training as well, so which is for more awareness training. So, and how do we do it? These are the solutions we offer. So when talking about heat, we have this, for example, steam room or the sanarium, a different kind of sauna where you have milder temperature, you have high humidity, but at the same time you have a good effect on, you have also those stimuli and you have a good effect on your body. But you can be more, it's not as stressful as when you go on the other side. There you have really the hot, dry air. The temperature goes up and you are more under stress than when you are, for example, in a sanarium. And we develop now, for those who want to really a very intense training, we develop the infusion system. And of course, you can have infusions in a spa, in a spa, but sometimes it's when you do it at home by yourself, you obviously have to get up. So it's stress again. So then that's why we developed the concept where we say, okay, you have stress, of course you have the heat, it's stress for you, but then you fully can relax because you don't need to get up, you can just lay down, the heat is coming to you, it will be pushed to you in this air circulation system, and this is the new system. And yes, go to our booth and you can really experience that. It's a great experience, I can tell you. And then also on the other side, here it's the way around because we already have cold treatments that provide a very intense training. So we have, of course, we have a snow room, we have cold water plunges where you can jump in, we have showers and everything. But I know a lot of people, they say, I don't want to do it because it's stress for me, it's physical stress, it's too cold for me, I just don't want to do it. And then, yeah, basically, it's not the full, you don't have this full effect on your body as you would have with this cold, with this heat cold treatments. That's why we now developed a very new system. It's called the ice steam room, which is a very moderate cool down, a very gentle cool down. You can go in, you can enjoy, you can take a snow shower if you want. So you have all the possibilities, but the most of the important thing is your heat temperature goes not that cold again, that it's stress for you. It's really something after a sauna, it gives you a fast and full relaxation, and it gives you the full recovery of your body. This is a very new concept, and I really invite you to come to our booth here in this hall, booth B28, and you can experience the ice steam room as well as the vitality boost, as well as other stimuli like movement, like the air, the light. We have everything there, and you will see how well is it for your body. Thank you so much.
So, running gag, my microphone now is open. Thank you very much, Andrea. Really, it's not only a sauna. So I guess I will come to you, and I would like to have a snow shower.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Heat and cold stress is good for us, mental health, body health. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the final discussion, the panel, which brings you all of the insights which we had in these hours now into practice, what we can suggest to take home, what you can perhaps implement in your work. So, our practical longevity panel on health solution action, I have Dr. Andrea Gartenbach, longevity physician, the founder and boss of Longevity Center, Joanna Bench. We have here the holistic medical star, Niels Behrens, and Irmi Huber. I would like to be in the center. Wonderful. Irmi Huber is the founder, she's a medical doctor and the founder of a telemedicine platform, one of the first in the German-speaking market, StaYoung. She's running it very successfully, and I need my questions. First of all, is it okay for you that we are, yeah, you see everybody? Wonderful. I would like you don't have to introduce yourself, but the others, because we don't know about your work, we don't know nothing about, so I would like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, that you are introducing yourselves, that we know how you are working with your clients. Is es zu laut oder ist alles gut? Is it too loud? Good. So because you saw, she was really acting here on stage, so you should start.
Oh, I should start, okay.
Yes.
Okay, again, my name is Dr. Andrea Gartenbach. I'm a specialist for internal medicine, educated in Germany, Switzerland, and the US. I have specifications in palliative care medicine, and sports medicine, and genetics, and geroprotecting, so hormones, and maybe a few more. I'm finishing a master degree, Master of Science in Functional Medicine and Prevention, and I'm really focusing on my career on taking care, individual care and personalized care of patients on their journey, and as well as I was presenting, advising companies, health companies or hospitality locations, how to implement health and longevity into their offering, and as well how they can transform into their into the longevity field.
So you are doing measuring, you are doing interventions, and you have a huge network with other physicians to go deeper into the diagnostics and then also into the interventions. And you don't have a studio.
Yes, that's true. So I was working as an attendant in a huge private clinic in Switzerland, where I learned a lot how hospitals are working. Then I was working in a private practice and private clinic. And when I was going into the longevity field, I decided not to open up another private practice or clinic, collaborating with other clinics and going to the patient's home and offices. So we are super flexible because the new technologies are fitting in a huge female handbag or in the sports bag. So that's how I'm working, and for the things like radiology, like MRI or DEXA scans, they're not fitting into my handbag. We have great partners around, and my philosophy is working as a doctor in a team with my patient and clients, and have a look at the patient's health, how family offices do have a look on the wealth of their clients.
It's a real new dimension of working.
Yes.
Dr. Irmi Huber, StaYoung.
Thank you very much for having me here. So I'm a medical doctor. I'm a serial entrepreneur since 30 years. So you can see I'm also the target group for longevity. And that is how I...
Nein, ich guck mal, können Sie gut hören, aber es liegt vielleicht daran, dass wir hier auf der Bühne sitzen. Ich höre Sie sehr schlecht.
Ja.
Können Sie gut verstehen? Nicht so gut.
Okay, dann gehe ich noch ein bisschen näher, dann geht es meistens besser, ja? So, I just repeat, I'm a medical doctor. Since 30 years, I'm a serial entrepreneur, and as you can see, I'm also the target group for longevity. It's also how I got interested in. I lived in the US, in Florida, 2015, and there was already longevity a hype. So I looked at it and said, okay, now is the moment to bring this idea also to Europe, and we set up a startup. It's a longevity platform, so for everybody who is interested in longevity can start with us. Neotes, that is the ancient Greek word for usefulness, and you get information, you get medical consultation. We have a store with tests and also micronutrition. And last but not least, we had also doctors who are really working with us. So as you can see, I'm passionate. Also what I have heard here, I think we need to test, track, improve, and then we do the whole cycle again. That's about longevity. And I think the most important diagnostic I see right now as an early detection and also a baseline for longevity is an epigenetic test.
So, and perhaps you can explain to us your communication with your clients. This is only online, but also phone.
Exactly. So what very important is that we have with our test diagnostic, and also if you have any questions, we have a medical consultation online. You can book it at our website neotes.com.
And also you have a network with other doctors and other disciplines.
Exactly. So we have in all cities, in the German-speaking countries, we have more or less doctors who work with us. And there you can go and also have consultation in our diagnostic and longevity consultation in person, in their practice and clinics.
And so you will accompany your clients for a long time.
Exactly. Also our goal is to have something like a life package. So you start with us and you have along the customer journey, along whatever you need, you have somebody who is accompanying you to achieve your own longevity.
Thank you. And now this is a new dimension in this discussion. Niels was the Chief Medical Marketing and Medical Officer of Lanzerhof, and he's now really discovering new dimensions in his life. Please tell us how you were working and what are you doing now, and what your suggestion is for everybody here.
Yes, thank you very much. Can you hear me? No. Now better? Okay, my name is Niels Behrens. I was working 12 years now for Lanzerhof, for the Lanzerhof Group. To explain what Lanzerhof Group is doing, so we have different health resorts, and the USP of Lanzerhof is that we're combining high-end medicine, so in terms of the examination, with natural healing methods or functional medicine. So this is at the end the USP of Lanzerhof, and this is what I was working in this industry for the last 12 years. And due to this, I was also very deeply involved into the business, the development of the concept and everything. And one of my tasks I made for myself was also the Lanzerhof podcast. It's called Forever Young. So the goal was already clear. This is how we met, honestly, through this podcast, because the amazing book from Nina, Aging Will Be Curable, I think it's translated literally, so Altern wird heilbar, was our first contact.
Yeah.
And this is also, I would say, a kind of starting point for the fascination. I would say in the beginning, for me, Lanzerhof, my work at Lanzerhof was more about prevention, but with the book from Nina, it was really also the fascination of longevity to turn around aging also in a way. So, and I had the luck with this podcast to have not only Nina, so Nina was twice there, but I interviewed in total more than 250 experts about different subjects, about longevity, but also about medicine, about everything which is related to stay young, hopefully forever.
Yeah, And now we have here physicians, and all are really deep in practice, also you, and you are also all longevity specialists. You may get a microphone and you are forced to ask our panel, but we start, and our panel has the headline, "We bring longevity into practice." So my first question, and I don't ask somebody special, you have to add perhaps your knowledge. When you would be a hotel, the owner of a hotel or of a, let us say, wellness center on a high level, and you would like to implement longevity measuring and a little bit also a lot better of doing, what would you recommend? What would you implement? On the lower, we have here the Shining Star, which is really a clinic. But on the lower level, what would you start with when you would like to implement longevity treatments into your business?
I mean, I can start with that. I mean, we did have also a clinic at the hotel. So I think our experience, and also what really makes sense and is a no-brainer, we start with diet. I mean, this is a very, very easy one to start. And also to maybe go into your question a bit deeper, because you can do it at the medical level, registering as a kind of medical clinic and making it medical, or to do it more wellness, which, you know, you don't need doctor, but you can start with nutrition, you can start with trainer, which usually they are anyway in the hotel or somehow associated with hotels. For that, you need certain testing. So some of our panelists also have, so IRMI has also some solutions for that. So you can have existing testings, or you can do just even start with blood testing. So definitely diet and definitely sleep. This is the most obvious for hotels. And then you can, from there, you can go into performance, into many more areas of longevity that are, let's say, more complex in terms of testing and done interventions. But I think you can start really very, very low cost even, and very easy.
Nutrition, sleep. Nutrition, you have to think what kind of type do you have in front of you? Is this a diabetic type? And you have to be, so immediately I ask personalization. And if you would like to do it on a level which is really interesting, you have to start with the diagnostics. How would you do that on a low level and then higher and higher?
You know, as a doctor, we are always used first to ask the patient about his health or about where he has a problem. And I think to determine the goals, what the guest or the patient would like to do or see for himself or herself in terms of longevity is also important. So just to agree with the guest or the patient, and then there are baseline tests. So what we do specifically in longevity is we call it a bioage test or an epigenetic test. They are also available as self-tests. There are genetic tests, that is already then deeper knowledge. And then blood work, like Joanna already mentioned it. I think it's very important to have the age-relevant biomarkers and hormone. I know, Nina, you talked a lot in all your communication about hormone replacement. So, but that is already pretty, it's not basic longevity anymore. So we are talking about more specified diagnostic, which also needs to be done and by doctors.
Yeah. So an anamnese, I don't know the word in English.
Yeah, anamnesis
okay.
or a medical history.
You need a doctor.
Yeah, you need
so when I would like to do longevity interventions and diagnostics on a low level without a doctor, so we are very close to wellness.
Yes.
And it's okay. But when we would like to go deeper into the longevity science, we should set up diagnostics and interventions together with professionals. So you cannot miss a doctor. That's it.
So I don't know if anyone is familiar with the concept of Syro. Syro just opened in Dubai. It's the first recovery hotel in the world. And they, for example, they're starting with a body scan. So even that, you don't need a doctor for that. You just need someone who is trained to make the interpretation of the measurements. So, but this is for me a very good example how you can implement something. So everyone who is checking in into the Syro hotel having a body scan in the beginning. This is something I really like, honestly. Also, it's for me really funny to see. I think I've seen today 3 times the same picture from Brian Johnson. And we have even someone who has have a Don't Die shirt here on. So we have also some Brian Johnson fans here. And we had the pleasure, we 3 had breakfast together. And I think even if the breakfast menu is done quite well, it's still, if you are a longevity enthusiast, it's nothing for a longevity, not really so much for a longevity enthusiast. So, and thinking about, he invested so much money, Brian Johnson, so much money into the research, what is the healthiest you could have for breakfast, and he invented the nut pudding. So why is there no hotel, I didn't know any hotel so far, which offering the nut pudding for breakfast? I'm pretty sure it is not more expensive than offering rolls and fresh fruits, but I would celebrate it that really, if I would be there and they have some nut pudding according to Brian Johnson, I would be happy to have this breakfast. So this is for me something which is on such a low level. Everyone who is operating a hotel, everyone who has a buffet for breakfast can offer that with low cost and without any big efforts. But this would be for me a first step into longevity.
So whole longevity menus as well.
You can. Okay, we do it like that. Thank you. I think the big question is how long are the customers staying? Is it a long-term stay? Do we have more time to interact with the customer and so then doing therapies and treatments and things like that? Or do they just stay one night like we did? I mean, you can then have a look into the journey of the customer and see, okay, they are coming into the hotel. We all need, when we travel, a lot of water to rehydrate. So present them water, clean water. And then when they come into the room, I always think, why do they do that when you have this chocolate on your bed? I mean, that's the worst thing you can do, eating a chocolate before you go to bed. Or implementing a good light concept, because we talked about that. We should not look into yeah, you see, like this, you can offer these glasses for your clients. You can work on the breakfast. You can work on the drinks. I mean, it's super easy with just reorganizing a few habits the clients do. And if you have a longer stay, then it's super easy to implement different things like metabolic testing or strength testing. It depends on the goal. And if they stay like for a week, you also can do blood testing and offer certain treatments. You can offer cold therapy, hot therapy, whatever suits into your hotel. But this is, I think, a super important question.
Just one thing to add, because I had the honor to have a presentation and make some advices for hoteliers yesterday, what they could implement. And exactly, I also said, this nightcap, it's so stupid to have chocolate before you go to sleep. And honestly, something which is, as a supplement, I would say even the doctors will agree that you can easily give more or less everyone some magnesium. And magnesium is quite beneficial for having it just before you go to bed. So instead of having chocolate, why don't you give some magnesium? I would say maybe again, same cost, but a little bit different story.
And then if you say, oh no, I don't want to give pills to my customers, magnesium is available as powder. You can have a good night drink with a little bit
or in drops.
And drops you can have. And there is a super interesting UK company. They do 3D printing gummies, but without sugar. And it's so, you really can offer something new, and then you can offer something to be awake. So you give magnesium glycinate for sleeping, and you give magnesium citrate for wake up. And you have like little tiny boxes for your customers, and then they come into health or different kind of bad situations and things like that.
But Nina, if I could maybe add something, because we say longevity, but I think a lot of what we mentioned is actually first step to longevity, because if we talk about longevity clinic, we really have to think, especially having doctors around, I think we have to talk about responsible medicine as well. And you mentioned Brian Johnson and so on. So a lot of, like, this is why we're looking for gold standards as well. So for hotels, we might look at first step to longevity, but like setting up a clinic is more complex than just what we just discussed, I think.
Yeah, I would like to stay first by the first step and then to set up an online clinic or a real clinic. This is the next step. You, I guess, are the best informed hotel connoisseur in the world in that field. So there are some hotels which are now implementing suites which are longevity suites and which are really new in these customers' delivery. Tell me, please, what is in there?
So it depends. So there are a lot of fitness devices in there right now. So either it is Peloton or this dumbbell bench from Technogym, or you have this Vaha mirror, this training mirror. So this is all the fitness devices you have there. Then in addition, you have sometimes, there's a new project, it's called The Well, and it's now in construction in Miami. And they have, for example, a wellness bathroom also. So what is a wellness bathroom? It's a specific shower which also gives you some lymphatic drainage. It's also something which I honestly think it's such an easy but very, very good idea, and all the ladies will understand why. They have a fridge in the bathroom, so for the cosmetic. So, and even this is something...
This is not longevity.
It depends, it depends. If you have your collagen drinks in there...
Yes,
then,
or you put your hands in.
yeah, here again. So in the kitchen they have a Vitamix, for example. So, and these are all small devices which are really interesting. I was really astonished. I just stayed in a hotel in Panama, and they had a white noise machine on the next to the bed. So if you're not familiar, white noise just give you something like you hear some birds or some water flowing or something like that. Sorry?
Or hair dryer.
Yeah, a hair dryer also. So it is just a constant noise which helps you to fall asleep, but also which is covering other noises. So that means you sleep deeper normally with these white noise machines. And this was just a normal, okay, it was a spa hotel, but I was really surprised that they have it. And the good thing was, it needs no introduction. So it is really just switch on, then you hear the noise, you can select from different noises, and then it works. It's quite cool.
And if you ask who should be the target audience, longevity begins latestly in the age of 30. So this is super important. So you have a wide range. Yeah, only in 5 years. I'm already out there.
Well, we have a programs for longevity for kids, so I would say it can actually start much earlier.
That's why I said latest. So my kids, I know their DNA, I know what they should eat, I know their habits and strengths and stuff like that, and I'm educating them. Sometimes they come home from school and say, oh, they had marmalade on their white bread. Mommy, I think this was not a good day for them. I was like, oh,
great.
That's true. But if you look into hotels, it's super important to offer that also for the young people. Longevity, healthy aging doesn't mean we have to start in the age of 50, and this is super, super important. So if you go into that field as a hotel, you just open up your range of customers, because if you see the demographics, more younger people are interested in taking care of themselves, not drinking milk anymore, just drinking oat milk or alternative milk, doing ice baths, showers, all these things, and traveling starts again.
So the idea is, and then we stop this first level. There are some special types of beds you can implement. You can ask if the customer has some experience with his temperature he would like to have during the night. So everything what they know about you, they put it in the card, on an electronic card, and when you're putting into the item where you can, yes, you can switch on the light and there all your informations. And then if it's a hotel chain in the whole world, you have it in every hotel, the same informations about you. And they bring you your longevity menu. They know what in spa you need. And you can add more and more information. So this is an interesting idea, which is not a longevity doctor clinic affordable. You don't need it. But this is really the first step. And then in the television, you can see some videos from StaYoung Media. What's about the newest, the newest nutritional supplements? Yeah, wonderful. But this is not really longevity on a high level. So now for them who would like to invest more, you need, in these concepts, you don't need a lot of trained people. But when you are really going on to the longevity level into a center or let's say a hotel on a high level and also online, what you need is a lot. And this would be interesting to know. Also, my last sentence, there is when you are looking here, so many techniques, so many things are coming now on the market. You don't know which one is working and which one not. This device there, and how you can care for it, and so you need really a tough scientific advisory board to get into the knowledge of longevity for your clients. This is a lot.
Well, what we are doing, we have actually international scientific advisory board, but we also have certain doctors that are in scientific research in our center, because there is a lot that it's actually promoted as longevity, but it has nothing to do with longevity. So what we are doing is with every machine or every intervention that we are introducing, whether this is hyperbaric chamber, cryo, we have to validate the medical, let's say, value, but also scientific value, and how do we interconnect it, how do we create protocols. And I think this is very important what you said, because also in clinics like mine, we are building two levels. We are building a well-being level, so that we have all this, you know, from psychology to diet to sleep. But also, you know, we have this very, I would say, evidence and very strong evidence-based and medically validated tests and interventions that are actually part of the preventive, personalized, and medicine. So, I mean, the science of longevity for me is really to combine both, because very often, and also in most of us don't like going to the doctor if we are not feeling sick or nothing is wrong with us. I mean, this is why we are more attracted to devices and recommendations that are more wellness related. So to longevity medicine to be effective, we have to also mix these two. But still, under a very strong regime, as you said, we validate everything that we introduce. And I think it's very important. Last year, for the first time, we have organized the first roundtable of longevity clinics at the Bach Institute in California. And this year, we're going to have a second meeting of clinics to really agree best practices and also some guidelines for medical doctors that run the clinics, but also clinics owners. What is actually validated? What works? Which biomarkers actually correlate with each other? And what do we say to the client at the end of the day? You know, what works, what doesn't work? How does it affect their health and their longevity? I mean, if we talk about longevity, we have to prove that it's really helping you to either make you biologically younger or in some way to contribute to your long life.
Yeah. And you need people who are really know what they are doing. You need so many, a team which is really educated, and that's not easy. That's not easy.
And I think that is also the reason why we decided to set up an online platform, because so we have really almost everybody can have access to our information, to online medical consulting. So you get the information you need for your personal and also to the store. Because I think when you go to Amazon and you look for any micronutrition you have read somewhere, then you never know, is it pure, is it highly concentrated enough? And I think that is very important, that you can trust somebody who is filtering for you the information. And I think that is what we all do, like we are sitting here, just in different channels. Yeah.
So maybe to just add one information from you on Neotis, which is quite interesting, because I think that Sophie has also mentioned NMN as NAD plus booster, and it is not allowed to sell it as a supplement in Germany. So you have to put on your website, this is a chemical which you shouldn't take as a human being. So this is a lot of trust you can create with a warning like this. And so this is even more important, why it is, you know better than me, but then it's even more important that you take the right chemical from someone you trust.
I fully agree, and I think that is with everything. I think we have so many different strategies. I think we have...
Come here, perhaps.
I think... Maybe we'll use the one microphone over here. Yeah?
Perhaps it's this...
So I think we have so many different longevity strategies. So I think the most important is you trust somebody, you go there, and then you strictly follow the strategy. I think that is what I fully recommend to everybody.
So do you understand me? Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. No problem. I'm always, when we are talking, I'm in my back of my brain, I'm thinking about what is interesting for you, what is interesting for people who have a wellness center, who have a fitness center, who have a hotel. And you are not interested to label something as longevity, which is not longevity. So to start in an honest way, to integrate, to implement that, and which is really interesting for your clients. So, question to you. How would you are now not anymore Lanzerhof, you get a lot of money, you can start a hotel, a wellness center, you can start whatever you want. What would you do in the name of healthy longevity?
I'm 100% sure what I would do. I would start with a really full testing. So I would say the possibilities you have mentioned in your presentation the hallmarks of aging. So I think from my point of view, this is a pretty good starting point, because when you look at the hallmarks of aging, then you have to analyze what is your status. So, and then you see what you should improve. And then I think the key word, even if it is maybe used a lot, but it's ultra personalized. Then you need things which are ultra personalized according to the results of these hallmarks of aging. And I would say what is even more important is also to have some direct effects. Not only because it makes sense from a medical point of view, but it also makes sense from a mental point of view. Because when you have something which you do while you're there, but you're not feeling the effect directly. So you don't have to feel the effect of every treatment. This is not possible. So, but you need some intervention which have an effect directly, because otherwise you're leaving and you are maybe not convinced that you have done.
For example?
No, I don't want to mention any examples at the moment, because no, okay. I don't want to mention that. And I would say what is the most important thing when I would set up a clinic now by scratch, I would say the aftercare program is the most important thing, because at the end, most people coming to a health resort for an average 10 days, so then they are living a healthy life for 10 days, and afterwards the daily lives returns faster than the most people expect. And so I would say when you stay in a kind of program which give you a kind of new routine, according to the things you've learned in your stay at the health resort, this is the key to success. And this is also the real game changer, because when you are staying in the program, it's pretty sure that you will come back after a year and you're not skipping it because of several reasons. So that you're really working on it, because honestly, I mentioned it to, it would be nice to have them nut pudding in a hotel, but it honestly doesn't give you any extra years just having a nut pudding once when you're staying at this hotel. So you have to put some things into your daily routine, and you also have to see what makes sense for you to put it into your daily routine.
An online companion program. So we have to close this round, but I would like to yes.
And I would say, we positioned Neotis more or less for the people who are just getting in this first time in longevity. So Neotis can also be a part of this aftercare program, because we give exactly the guidelines. We have all the products, the tests, and the micronutrition. And of course, you get also the personalized consultation you need also when you left the hotel and you would like to improve yourself.
Yeah, also what Andrea said, she will use the network she has, and she will continue with her clients in a long way. This is a medical doctor. Okay, this is a different topic, but she works as a medical doctor, as a companion. And I would like...
I just wanted to invite Niels to become a client of us.
Yeah, that's nice. I would like to know from everybody of you, what will come on the market? What will you develop? What will you develop? And which support and suggestions will also, which offerings will come on the market in the future concerning a serious and a high-level longevity treatment? Start with you, and then we go.
So I would say I lower the bar extremely now, because I'm trust in the most important factor of longevity. And the most important factor of longevity, according to the Harvard Grant study, is good social contacts. And we are social animals, we have to be social. And what I really like is the trend of social wellness. So there are some hotels in London now which are offering running clubs. There's a new hotel which belongs to the Aman group. It's called Juna, and it's opening just in Tokyo. And there's so much focus on social wellness, social community. And I think from my point of view, what will come, and this is the most important factor for a good, healthy life, is social contact. And this is why I'm a big fan of social wellness.
I'm a big fan of creating a good network between online clinics, best practice clinics, advisors, and coaches to really fill in the gap we do have now and to stretch the health system we do have at the moment.
I would say the biggest trend for me is really personalization and getting deeper and deeper into personalization. But to do personalization, you have to understand the baseline and also have credible tests, both on the biological ages but also medical, and then the right type of interventions, whether they are in terms of nutrition or sleep or exercise, or it will be personalized hormonal therapy, or using different interventions like what we are surrounded here today, from wellness and functional training. So I would say personalization.
Mm-hmm. So I fully agree to everything what you said already, and I think we do all we always going to develop what we are best at, and I think we are very good in epigenetic testing. I believe very much in it as an early indicator test, and we have now recently developed a fitness age epigenetic biomarker. We will develop more epigenetic biomarkers because I truly believe that we can recognize imbalance in the body much earlier.
And this means that the future will be really more networking of all people who are really specialists and experts. And bullshit filter will be very important in the future as well. Thank you very much. I guess you will stay here a little bit, so if you have some questions, please don't hesitate to ask them. But we have now, we have 5 minutes. Oh, right. So now you have to be very courageous. We have these wonderful microphones which are working totally perfect. And we will bring it to you, and you can ask everything you want, but please concerning longevity. Yeah, you are here since some of you several hours. That's really great. We thank you. Oh no, we don't understand. No. A little bit, perhaps not more pressure. A little bit.
I'm just going to keep screaming. I want to know, I'm 39, and I want to know what is the one thing that I need to change about my daily routine that will ensure my longevity, outside of a supplement or treatment or something. Because we talk so much about products and services, but I want to know, what should I do?
This is a provocation. He'll say provocation because he knows it so much better. Okay, please.
Sleep well. Anti-inflammatory diet, not knowing enough about it.
Genetic tests.
Resilience, managing stress.
I would say do sports, and especially strength training. So I would say the most underestimated thing in terms of longevity is muscles, to protect your muscles, because you said you're 39, so you're starting to lose muscles at least when you're 30. So, but you can try not to lose so much.
So Chris, we can close now with the recommendations of my grandma. She said, eat more vegetable, sleep well, do sports, and be nice to other people. So that's longevity. Okay, but perhaps face-to-face you would like to have, this microphone. Some more information. Thank you very much. Here also on the panel. Oh. Good. Es tut mir jetzt echt leid, dass das mit dem Mikro so beschissen lief. Entschuldigung. This is really terrible. Terrible. Always.
That is exactly what we need to do, yeah? And I think here, as this is
Networking, yeah.
This is amazing fair.
Yeah.